1, 2, 3, 4.
The greatest story never told.
No, they're not Nazis. It was some other thing that was like that wasn't good. It was something that's normally perceived as bad that was like actually good. It wasn't the Jews and the Nazis. It was something else, but like it was
the book burning or something.
No, it had nothing to do with that.
Oh, okay.
Just cut this fucking part out. God damn it! I remembered it 5 minutes ago. You said something, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good segue." But yeah, there's a lot of racism on Twitter.
No, that's fair. Because I wrote down the book burning by the Nazis thing too, just because like I'm like, yeah, you understand. Like people have this conception that it was like for like literally watching teenagers at work who have history class. And I always ask them like, what did you learn in history? Because I ask them what they learn in school, and they like are usually like, I went to lunch and I played dodgeball. And it's like, yeah, that's like the same shit I would say if I was in high school right now. But like, did you learn anything, or do you feel like you took something home with you?
Most days, no.
And they were like, mostly no. And then the one girl,
just trying to survive, man.
She gave me her homework. She failed a test on the Jim Crow era of the South, and I'm like, did they like explain this like in detail enough? Because this seems like very like, I mean, they're 16-year-old kids, so I'm like, this seems like very surface level. Like, do you grasp what any of this means? And she's like, fuck no. And I'm like, that makes a lot more sense to me right now. It's like they're using this to kind of illustrate the buzzwords of history because they don't want you to like learn what it is. They just want you to know kind of what like the like you get a vocabulary word, what the definition of that vocabulary word is, and then kind of how it applies to the subject you're learning, but not like the full grasp of like the why of it. And like there's a lot of it that they were missing. Like they tried to.
You said Jim Crow. Apparently, the Rosa Parks thing was a completely staged event.
Yep, I heard that on Rogan too, because he has a picture of her mugshot on his old studio wall. That lady that was standing back there that looks Asian. Like he was even commenting on how it's like, yeah, that's Rosa Parks. After she got arrested in the Montgomery bus fucking protest or whatever. Yeah, there was like a lady that was doing that before her in Florida, and she
got no traction at all.
And they thought
this was completely staged, and apparently it was. Staged by the civil rights movement or whatever. Still. But you said the Jim Crow thing. It also reminded me of the thought that I lost. It was that apparently Lincoln was like a complete shitbag of a leader.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if I don't have the thread up. Like I should have. I didn't put it in my notes or anything. And then everyone like it goes along with the openly racist on Twitter because Elon, it's kind of a wild, wild west on there. Like there's porn on there.
Sweet.
There's people
I see people getting like blown up on
Andrew
there.
Tate says nigger like every day, and Owen Benjamin's like nigger's my favorite word, and like it doesn't get bleeped or removed or anything. And I'm like, this is, I mean, not just for that word, but this is how the internet should be. The internet's the fucking wild, wild west, and if you don't want to go, then log the fuck. Like I hate how.
Yes.
Like I'm still permanently banned on Reddit because I said tranny freak. Like
whoa, it's their month.
I thought this was America. Happy Pride Month, but I wish I had the thread up. And it might have been Cumia or someone that posted it, and everyone's like, you're just racist because he freed the slaves. And like there was a bunch of like poignant points about like no,
Abraham Lincoln being he was
just a fucking complete piece of shit.
He
gets revered as this hero because he freed the slaves when like he himself
had nothing to do with it.
Thought that slaves should still be a thing, and
it was sort of. He just
hated black people or something. Like it was some like
slavery was still prevalent. There's like indentured servitude was still like prevalent in the North during the slavery era. Like, and then the whole reason. It goes down to states' rights, and everybody's like states' rights to own slaves. Well, yeah, but then also there's areas of the country like West Virginia exists purely because of states' rights issue. Like that, right? Was that ever?
No.
So West Virginia and Virginia were one state for up until 1883 or 1884, I think, whenever the Civil War kicked off. But it was
the states' rights to be addicted to Percocets.
Yeah, states' right. Well, states' rights to grow cotton and textiles. And that was what like most of Virginia was, and it was like all these like wealthy landowners, and then the Appalachian part, like towards the mountains, couldn't grow cotton, couldn't really do things. So they were like doing more unconventional means like mining and like, you know, fishing and shit like that, like building railroads and stuff. There was they were able to generate income, but they were getting taxed the shit out of like to poverty by basically being associated
Just
with
because-
Richmond, Virginia, because they existed in a state that was like textiles, cottons, slaves, how we make our money. Which one do you give us? And they're like, well, we can barely give you textiles. And they're like, give us all of them, and we're not giving you much money for it. So they get taxed to oblivion. And one of the pivotal points during the Civil War was there was a bunch of the people that lived more towards Appalachia that were like, if we secede and side with the North, then we don't have to pay taxes to these guys, and we can actually generate our own income for the first time in our lives. Like in the first time that anybody had settled that area, they were able to like retain wealth. And I mean, it didn't really work. West Virginia still fuck, but like they were
At that time, though, it might have been a boon for them.
It was the best. It was like, we don't own slaves. We don't really have the ability to generate cotton the way that they do. So we're just going to secede and be with the North. And then the North is going to come down and fight this war. And we'll just side with them because like, what's Virginia? They think we're on their side, but like we really have been impartial through this whole thing. So once we stop paying taxes, they'll get the message, try and fuck with us, and then the North's gonna come kick their ass, which is kind of what happened.
Really?
So, yeah, but it was like,
I didn't realize West Virginia was above the Mason-Dixon.
it's not really above it as
I'm
much
saying
as, but
that they
yeah,
were a
they
union.
were a union state. Yeah, same with Ohio.
Is that frowned upon in the South? Are they like, fuck them? You fucking traded us?
He's already here. Do not.
Scared the shit out of me.
I don't actually know. I don't think they're physically above the Mason-Dixon line or the
I didn't
Mason-Dixon
mean
line.
literally. I just meant metaphorically, like how they drew a line in the sand. They said, "Fuck the South, dude. Like we see the writing on the wall. We're not paying your taxes anymore." There was like a rebellion within a rebellion.
Yeah, exactly. Because they were saying, "Shut the fuck up! Hey, get over here."
That's got to be frowned upon.
It's like masturbating on an airplane.
By like rebel flag flying, like
Yeah.
inbreds being like, they traded on us. We
Yeah.
were trading on them.
Well, what it boils down to is that like Lincoln didn't really. Oh, it's our landscapers. That's why we're gonna have the landscaping portion of the podcast going on now.
Cheyenne hates Mexicans.
She loves them. She thinks they taste good. That's the whole thing. No, like Lincoln was just never. It was never an issue about slavery, and people think that like because he freed the slaves, it was like the first political identity politics thing where it was like this guy was completely conflated into being this one thing when in reality he was like, nah, these people want to just do their own thing, and I don't want to lose that tax revenue because we're still kind of a 100-year-old country. We're still burgeoning, so like we need to, find a way to kind of keep everything together. Might have been kind of a bad idea turning like people like Sherman loose on the South and just burning Atlanta and then everything between that and the Atlantic Ocean. But
I can't find the Lincoln thread. It's all just positive things. This photo of Lincoln when he was a boy.
he was taking a dump.
Yeah, I don't think the Aunt Cumia Lincoln thread's going to come up on the
Aunt Cumia
search.
had a great. There's that guy that clapped off at him, and Aunt had like really good succinct points that came at him, and I think his Cheyenne. She wants to kiss you. But he had some real succinct points too about like how people can't they want to hear what they want to hear, and it's like the second you make something about race, it's like you've automatically lost 2/3 of people. Like you can't have an honest discussion about race these days because people have this knee-jerk reaction to it. So like when the reason I tie this back to Lincoln is because it's like when you say something like Lincoln maybe wasn't the greatest of dudes, there is like 2/3 of people that are like,
is he freed the slaves? You don't like him?
yeah, exactly. But it's like, no, he might have had ulterior motives that may have been more detrimental to your community, but they don't want to hear that. They're just punching me in the face, like because that's what it is. It's a knee-jerk reaction. There is like,
I wish I would have thought to like screenshot it or like write it down or just give me the fucking thing. I rolled a fucking bat for this on purpose. I was like, I'm gonna roll a fucking. That's where I was like, be right there, and I was like, let me roll a couple blunts, and then
I want to slow Joe down as hard as I
slow
can.
myself down. I don't have anxiety the second half.
Hell yeah, dude.
But yeah, Lincoln apparently was a scumbag. I don't know. He was cool when they tossed about him in school. I have no fucking. I don't know.
Do you want to go off? Do you want to hear me talk about someone you don't like?
Sure.
I know you told me that you don't find Tim Dillon particularly funny.
I didn't hate him before, but I don't know why all of a sudden now I'm just like, this guy is fucking gay. Like
he's on thin ice. I would say he's on thin ice with me.
No, I don't really care for him, but I won't not watch something if he's on it. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have any real valid reasons for disliking him because
Just not a fan.
he's a household name. He's obviously like, yeah. I don't
Do you
know.
find his comedy like not funny, or
Not
do you
particularly.
find him not funny, like in general? Like
all of the above.
all of the above. Okay, fair enough.
It's not that he is so bad. It's that everyone reveres him as so good, and I just don't think he's as good as everyone like makes him seem. He's not like
Very much agreed.
this new age comical genius where it's just like he's a pretty funny guy. Like it's just like, you know what I mean?
He's quick with a word. That's about as
I
far as it
don't
goes.
think
with
he's
me.
like this philosophical genius. I think he's like an annoying fag. Like I just don't.
So
Happy Pride Month, Tim
Yeah.
Dillon. Go fuck yourself.
So Tim Dillon had a rant about the restaurant industry that I sent to you, and he made a bunch of points. Fuck yeah, dude. That I want to start out with the cons because there's a lot of like negativity that I could bring to this. Because he made two good points that I do want to cling to, but the first thing that I would like to say first and foremost is that he is a fat and unrealistic gay man that is like. He expects for you to, it's similar to like Bill Maher, where if it's like, if you're going to listen to what I'm talking about, we're going to take the training wheels off and like, you got to play ball in my, kind of like the way I want to. I'm going to formulate my entire argument around my outlook as opposed to it being a general outlook or a more, worldly outlook. It's like very Tim Dillon centric. And he is a fat, flamboyant gay man that has already illustrated.
Not flamboyant.
Oh, he's pretty flamboyant. Did you see him and Lewis on Real Ass Podcast where he was talking about Sal Volcano's Super Bowl party?
No.
He came off like such a whiny fag, and it was like, dude, I have no problem pulling punches
I
on
just
this.
meant like he's not wearing like glitter fucking.
No, he has the voice. He has like he puts on like he talks about how much his I was gonna say costume. How
I
much
didn't
is
know
like
he was gay until he said it on the one thing. Like he didn't strike me as gay at all. I think he gets that kind of rap where some people be like, I don't think you're gay. And
No,
like,
he's
what?
very gay, and everything that he has said, or at least like the research
I'm saying
have
he's not like queer eye for the straight guy.
I beg
level.
to
He's
differ.
not,
I
like,
think he's pretty transparently flamboyant. Like, I don't know.
I think we're misconstruing the definition of flamboyant. I'm saying like an overly over the top gay dude.
Yes.
I don't think that he's.
He brags about how he's like, I'm going to wear sweatpants, but I'm going to wear Prada sweatpants. Like, it's like he still has this air of like fucking. I'm
saying
a
like drag
diva.
syndrome level diva.
Yeah, diva.
He doesn't
He's
like
a
dress
diva.
up.
Yes, he does.
He just wears like sweatpants and a
Yeah,
t-shirt.
but he makes a point of showing how much like everything his ensemble costs and like how expensive his
but, like
sunglasses.
rappers do that, and they're like the opposite.
which are fags. No, they're gay. Rapper will gay. That's another thing too. Black men
Rappers
are
love designer.
black men are inherently gay, and it is very funny.
Jesus,
dude,
Christ.
that's fucking
You're gonna
great.
give me hot water. I got some black friends, Joe, and they might listen to this one day. I post this on Facebook. I've been sharing our episode on Facebook. I
Good.
said, hey, check us out.
Gentlemen,
No one liked it. I maybe got 1 or 2 likes.
Gentlemen.
Did we get any subs?
we're still sitting at 87.
Fuck. My posts are doing nothing.
We're what I'm saying is that maybe my definition of flamboyant is a little broader. I think yours might be like
I'm
a little
saying
bit
like super glittery, like dressed up crazy, like
you don't
super
see Tim
over the
Dillon.
top gay accent. No, I don't see him as that.
Really? Because like I would
He
say
just
like,
looks like a normal fucking dude.
See, like, I would say,
there's
like,
no glitter on.
like a Mateo Lane would be more of like
I don't know who that is.
Oh, he's on O&A a whole bunch. Like
What's the one dude that got canceled? Yussel or whatever the fuck.
yeah, Yussel. Fucking fuck you, Yussel.
No.
Get canceled, you
You
faggot.
flamboyant.
He's a flamboyant faggot.
No, the guy who like
sucking everybody's dicks under
he was like big in the Republican sphere and he got canceled. He said
Oh,
something.
Milo Yiannopoulos.
Milo Yussel.
Milo Yussel, yeah.
Yassinopoulos.
Milo Yiannopoulos.
He's like super gay.
Well, he's also like he's doing that as a bit, and now he's Christian. Did you know that?
That's fucking gay.
That's exactly
even gayer.
And like
I can't think of a good example, but someone
well,
who's
him
just
and
like
Tim Dillon are butt buddy. Like fucking Tony Hinchcliffe. Do you think he's flamboyant?
he's straight though.
Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yes.
He's gay as fuck.
No, he's not.
Are you kidding me?
100% he's straight.
I'm looking at. I was wrong last week. I think I got you.
You
on
are
this.
wrong again. I'll save you the time, my friend. He makes jokes about being called gay, but no, he's straight. He had like a hot girlfriend. Like
Tony Hinchcliffe gay. Ever since Tony confirmed he was straight, the show hasn't felt the same. Oh, so I guess I'm...
no, Tony Hinchcliffe's 100% straight.
Really?
I've seen him on a
like
dozen
that?
Rogan. That's just...
He's just got gay voice?
Yeah, he just looks like you're... He makes jokes about looking and sounding like a twink, but like, no, he likes pussy. He's
Really?
not. And yeah, no, I don't think Tony's gay at all. Like,
I'm genuinely shocked right now. He has a wife. He's divorced, I guess. He always reminds me of this
he's
dude.
single, but he
Hang
just
on.
likes to crush puss. Like, he's not gay.
Well, it's funny. It's a link, and it just goes to Joe Biden.
I'm Joe Biden.
I'm Joe Biden. I need to take a nap. Somebody warm me up some milk and cookies. I'm gonna go.
I used to ride my bicycle.
I used to take my friends down to the community pool and play with corn poppy. He's a bad dude. He would stroke my leg hair.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. He's a bad dude. Yeah, what are you doing over there? I really try to lead this country in a direction where I can let my son smoke crack and get blowjobs from Michaela or whatever her name, fucking Obama's daughter.
I think he did.
Oh yeah, he was
I
doing
heard
blow.
she was a hooer.
Yeah, for me probably.
A
I
hooah.
told you about that. That touring band that came to my buddy Nick's house. They were like,
I mean, good for her. What are you gonna do? She's a good egg.
I guess. I mean, I got
Imagine the amount of scrutiny and bullshit being a fucking president's kid. Now, set for life, money forever.
My
That's
date
great.
with the president's daughter. My
Oh,
date.
yeah. My date with her.
There was no Duncan. She was just blowing guys at some reform school, apparently, like according to my friend. And then
Yeah.
there's a picture of her
That's
credit
fine.
card with blow all over it and a Hunter Biden laptop.
What
like,
is the 20-year-old girl supposed to do?
I'm not.
She's
I'm not
supposed to
good at. She
snort lines
seems
and
like
suck dick.
she seems like a
Get
fun
it out
time.
of your system, honey. You'll be a great mom someday. But yeah, I'm not judging her for that. I'm just saying, like, that had to be something she didn't sign up for. Is just like trying to be a kid. And, like,
Yeah,
you're
totally.
the president's kid. Like that.
Same with Chelsea
It's got to
Clinton.
rule, but it's also got to suck. Like, it's kind of like being akin to being famous. Like, Jay, gotta be careful what you wish for, buddy. I know you want to be this big famous stand-up, but what happens when you can't walk to your CrossFit gym without fucking paparazzi following you everywhere?
You love that.
I see people always be like, oh, boo-hoo, they got their millions of dollars. But, like, fame's like one of those, like, Pandora's box things where it's like, you reach a certain level and it's like, you can never, like, go anywhere for the rest of your life. Like, that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like, being rich is cool, but, like, being able to go to the mall and, like, play pinball and buy a hat and, like, drink a smoothie and, like, no one bother you. Like, that's pretty cool, too. I think that's, like... I think there is definitely an obvious downside to fame, but a lot of people are kind of short-sighted where they're like, oh, boo-hoo, he's got a mansion.
Yeah, I, really,
you know what I mean?
I
It's
have no
like-
opinion on this, honestly. Like, I've never really like dissected
I think
it.
being famous would kind of blow.
I think it would be like, I think it would have its like the positives. I feel like they would outweigh the negatives, but I feel like there is like the negatives
I'm
definitely
not a
do.
sociable person, and I don't think money would buy that. I would be like a Tom, where it's just like, I don't want to talk to the fans. I don't want to, like...
Yeah, dude. So
not that I would ever have, like, fans or be... Like, I'm not even reaching for any type of fame, but, like, in those shoes, I don't think... I get why, like, some of those guys are kind of, like, douchebags. Like, even, like, athletes and stuff like that. It's just, like... Theirs is different. It's... You know, they're achieving a dream at the same... But, I don't know.
I don't like having to appreciate other people for doing something I just want to do. That kind of bothers me from celebrity because they act like you can't like turn on any Oscars or Academy Award or whatever and be like, I have so many people to thank. It's like, not really. You went to the gym, you have good genetics, like you could thank your parents if you want, but like at the end of the day, it's like
your cousin is this producer or whatever.
yeah,
like, a lot
you
of
blew
nepotism
Harvey.
in any
You
industry.
could thank Harvey Weinstein because you gave him a blowjob, and like that would make sense. But no, it's like you don't really have to thank your spiritual consultant. You don't have to thank the fucking guy that paints your face every day to look the way you do. Like like there's something about it where there's like
Don't thank anyone. Just go up there and be like, "Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Good night."
yeah, I don't know.
I hate those like suck me off speeches. Where
Yeah,
it's just like
where they got
so
the-
self-serving.
Look, actually, my boss said something about that too. I'm not gonna get into that. Never
Those
mind, but-
award shows are fucking
Well, yeah, that is
pointless anyway.
that is kind of the thing. It is like the that is the epitome of vanity.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, like you're getting rewarded for being narcissistic, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't get why it's televised. Like this is something I feel like you should guys be doing at like an AA hall or something.
Yeah.
like because that in its own right, that would be the most appropriate place. It's like
FA.
you're getting like fat anonymous,
Famous anonymous, dude.
faggots anonymous. I have a friend that met a girl that he said was the best lay of his life at Sex Addicts Anonymous. He got kicked out of Uber. Like, he got like, he was an Uber passenger and started fucking some chick in the back of an Uber when he was really drunk, and the Uber guy called the cops on him, and he got like a public lewdness charge, and the way to get out of it was he had to go to 3 classes of Sex Addicts Anonymous. In the first class, there was this chick. He was like, I don't know how this works, and she's like, oh, I'll show you, and she gave him her number, and then by the second class afterwards, they went to a bar, got fucking ripped, and then started banging, and he was like, yeah, she was like fucking demon in the sack, and like wouldn't let up. Yeah, Sex Addicts Anonymous. And then he never went to the third class. 7
diseases.
Yeah, he never went to the third class, and he still got out of the
He's got
whatever.
a son somewhere.
Yeah, he's a fucking lunatic kid. But no, yeah, I don't know. I think being famous would be like more fun for me than maybe for you. I just see it as like I don't.
You'd
care.
be more of a Bert.
I don't really think like because
I think within like Rogan's mentioned several times, like it's good up to a certain point, like fame. Like I don't know, like.
What did he say?
Now, like I feel like he's way past it now, but like he was just saying, like you still want to be able to walk around, stuff like that. Which I don't know. Like it's
what do you mean by like walk around? Do you think he means like walk around like L.A.? Because isn't that like kind of a thing where it's like, well, you could go like walk around in the woods by yourself with like private security.
No, just be like walk around town, like without like a
okay.
fucking crowd of people forming around you, and like which a lot of people don't deal with that. Like I'm sure there's some guys on the NASCAR circuit that can just fucking walk into an Applebee's and like probably go pretty unnoticed. Maybe not in the South, but like
Yeah.
I bet you if like Austin Cindric walked into Dino's, I'd probably be one of the few people to like recognize him. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
There's that song by the
Even
Bronx.
like baseball players, like someone on the Phillies could walk in the room right now and I would have no idea. Like
Probably me too, because I'm blind. I don't remember what they look like.
They all look the same.
They all look the fucking same. But no, I think there's like that song by the Bronx. It's called fucking Knife Man, and it's like the chorus is like about like just the burden of fame. It's just a universal cross we can bear. Where it's like I think famous people want you to feel bad for them for being famous, but like I
don't feel bad.
That's
it's
just
a self-inflicted thing.
Yeah, like I'm like I can't like really pity someone to
But I
like
understand.
it sucks. Like I think it sucks. Like you said, like getting swarmed every time you want to go take a leak. Like you're at a bar, you're hanging out with your friends, your family worse, and like everybody's just bothering you for pictures. Yeah, that seems like burdensome, but like at the same time, it's like I would just see like cha-ching, cha-ching,
No, it
cha-ching,
also
cha-ching,
sucks
cha-ching.
more is like working at McDonald's. Like you know what I mean? Like
yeah, absolutely. Working.
there's a price to pay for being a nobody.
Yeah, like
poverty.
I would just like I said, like I would just be like, oh, like even though I might have to pause this conversation with my girlfriend or my family or something like that for this prostitute that I'm talking to for like 30 seconds to take a picture with this autistic guy who's going to
like Joey Diaz.
Yeah.
Taking the last picture with me.
Yeah.
Could be a toss.
Come here, dog. Get over here, Tarzan.
He was literally talking to like his friends from North Bergen or whatever that came down, and I'm like, you skipped me.
What are you doing with that? But yeah, like
I didn't even say anything. I just walked around, stared at him for like 2 minutes. So let me get rid of this fucking jerk off. Yeah, literally. I like your cologne, Uncle Joey.
You smell really nice, Uncle Joey. What are you doing after this? Well, yeah, like
Get the fuck off me.
stay black, cocksucker.
So easy to do his voice. You're just like,
What are you doing over there, Lisa? Yeah, like I just like I'm
I'm off 200 milligrams of edibles and I'm sniffing these kids' legs. Your Joe Biden was impeccable. It had me.
What are you doing? Just stammer. Just make an old voice and stammer.
Mine was just horrible. I gave him my all right there, and I just
Who do you think your
bombed.
best impression is? I think
Joey
you do.
Diaz.
I think you do a pretty good
Jan.
soprano too. Jan. Nobody knows Jan. It's just
Chinese
generic
people.
Chinese immigrant.
I could when I used to hang out with Jan every day. I could do a good Jan.
You do a pretty good Tony soprano though.
I don't think my Tony's
I think
really
it's pretty good.
I can't do it off the top.
I do the S
bit of a
part
difficult situation.
when he like
This
talks.
is pretty easy, but I can't.
Yeah.
I can do like a C level Tony, but like on the fucking Like there's people who can really nail it on like
Yeah,
online.
like Gandolfini, like in general as well. Like I've seen the guy that did he did Gandolfini in every season of The Sopranos because I guess he did like
The
he was like a little
impressionist guys online. Yeah.
Yeah, did you know who I'm talking about? Actually, it's like
There's
the
a
dude with the
few of
goatee.
I've seen there's like the skinny fucking guy with a big nose that does Maltasanti. He's really good at his too.
Well, can we?
Yeah, we're all over the place.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no. I want to put
This
a bow on
podcast is ADHD personified.
marijuana.
Let's both take Adderall before the next episode and see if that
just sit for 2
settles.
hours and quiet. Watch Cops.
Can you imagine? Like it's supposed to make you like speed, and we're both just sitting here like writing notes and like sipping tea and shit. Like,
How are your stocks doing?
it's a lovely day outside.
I can really smell the capsaicin. There's peppers in bloom. Just to put a bow on the Tim Dillon thing. Yeah, I thought for the love of God, I did not know that. I guess I'm not alone here. I thought Tony Hinchcliffe was a flamboyant homosexual. I guess he just does have gay voice. I don't know, but
And he looks like
Yeah.
a stereotypical gay man.
twink. Yeah. But I think Tim Dillon is just as gay as Tony Hinchcliffe. So that to me is
Just off looks and demeanor and voice alone, I would dollars to donuts pick Tony Hinchcliffe every time.
yeah, same.
Like if I didn't know about, because you listen to a podcast and these people like kind of open up or whatever. If I didn't know how Tony Hinchcliffe was from listening to these like long form episodes, I would think he was a complete fag. But like no, he's like a guy's guy. Like he's from like a rough area of Ohio. His dad was like a mobster.
He made the joke
he's
about
an interesting dude.
He made the joke about how he's like tough as fuck because he was like a high school like wrestling champion or something, and he's like, and they're like, oh, why'd you
And he's
do it?
like
He's
from the
'cause
hood and like
Yeah.
that's why he's like just got that roast thing because there's just like he's from the hood, like
Yeah.
they're just fucking picking on each other.
Same with Norman too. Norman's not as much a roaster, but like his like fucking deflections and wit and everything is like a product of him growing up in New Orleans and getting like beat up by his neighbors and shit. Like,
Yeah, for some reason I pictured what's his name?
Norm Macdonald.
Yes.
Comedy.
I was literally like so confused. I'm like, he's from New Orleans. I thought he was Canadian.
Yeah, the northern. So they're both French. I mean, like
yeah.
the bayou.
The whole time you're saying that, I'm picturing Norm Macdonald.
You're having a real hard time with fucking people
I'm
today.
dyslexic as fuck, dude.
That's not dyslexia. That's
It
just
is.
it's face dyslexia.
Nah, it's
Facelexia. Sexlexia.
Lexapro.
All right, so the Tim Dillon restaurant rant, like I said, he's like a fat, flamboyant gay guy, and he made a big fuss on Real Ass Podcast about how Sal Vulcano didn't have like enough treats and stuff out during his Super Bowl party. Then
I did watch this.
yeah, and then Lewis was on Legion and had Sal on, and Sal's like, yo, I got a bone to pick with you. Like, you had Tim Dillon on, and Tim Dillon, like, first off, gave the Irish goodbye, which I'm like, I don't care, but, like, you can't just, like, talk a bunch of shit after not saying goodbye or, like, expressing that you didn't like the food. He ate the food, and then apparently, like, it was telling everybody that he enjoyed the food, and then just, like, concocted this rant, like, post, afterwards. And it made Lewis look kind of stupid because Lewis was kind of like agreeing with him and whatnot. He was like, yeah, maybe the food wasn't that good. And then he's like, dude, we spent like $2,000 on catering, and it was like all stuff from this like local Italian place right around the corner. He's like, maybe the food was pretty good. I don't know what to think.
No, it's just a flip flop.
Yeah, just Lewis getting caught in his own like narcissism, which is fucking hilarious. It's one of those funny things. But like, he made this rant, and it was like about like expectations in the restaurant industry, and it was like how in the 90s it was kind of fashionable to be a bartender, but now because of like The Bear and like Hell's Kitchen, Gordon Ramsay, Anthony Bourdain, you have like all these like chefs that make like being a chef kind of seem fashionable. But like restaurants are like really dirty, kind of grimy places to work, but they're also not like your friend. They're not like they're there to accommodate you. They're not there to be your buddy. They're not there to be your mom. And the points that I didn't like that he made was that like he's like the unrealistic expectations of like you need prerequisites to go to a place. That's true to an extent, and like maybe
What
not
were
at
his
my
prerequisites?
like how people
Need bread
come
with butter or
no, like people coming in and telling you they have food allergies. Like we get it all the time at Oceanside where somebody's like, I have a severe shellfish allergy. And it's like
gluten-free or
no, severe shellfish allergy at a seafood restaurant.
why
Seafood
are you
is
here?
that's our question every fucking time, and it's like you're either lying or you just don't like seafood, and like one of the two is true. Just be honest with us, we'll work with you. But like
Maybe they really do have it and they're just stupid.
they would be if they had a severe allergy. There's like steam like we steam a lot of things. There's shellfish in the air.
Just the aroma would.
Not even the aroma. It's like there's like particuli. Like you can go out there with a thing that would collect like the air vapor and figure out how many parts per million there is, like mild amounts of shellfish all over the restaurant just because we use a steamer. And it's like the hood vent gets most of it, but like it emanates throughout. Like
So she would have problems.
so people like that have severe shellfish allergies would probably
never walk into any seafood
Yeah, they
restaurant.
would know better than to do that. So it's somebody that's just lying.
What if they have a regular shellfish
like a
allergy?
normal shellfish allergy is fine. It's like if you get
They might
hives
just
or
be
whatever
saying severe just
because
so
they
you-
want well so
I actually delivered small side Benadryl late at night. I had to go to like a different CVS because the one was closed or whatever, but this lady was in Sea Isle. I ended up having to drive to like Summers Point CVS because it was open later, but she hooked it up. She tipped me like $40, but she said like I have a shellfish allergy and like they must have like she got like takeout or something from somewhere, and she's like they must have had it like she got like Italian food though, so like it must have been like an Italian restaurant where that's one where it's
Yeah.
like
probably have like some scallops.
you're not
like
if you have a
Fra
shellfish
Diavolo.
allergy and you go to an Italian restaurant, like that's fair. Like it's not the same as being as retarded as going to like a seafood restaurant
Right.
with that issue. Like I couldn't fault her there, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess that can happen to
It
people.
does happen.
Yeah.
It's like it's a thing that is realistic, but like if you had a severe allergy, you would most likely just avoid that place. Like, you know, much like I'm allergic to
I'm
watermelon
allergic to
and
bees.
cantaloupe.
I'm not going to the honey farm.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not going beekeeping.
become a beekeeper. Not going hornet farming. But like I have a severe watermelon allergy. Not severe. I have a mild watermelon allergy. I mean, I'm allergic to ragweed. So cantaloupe, melon, honeydew.
What happens if you eat them?
Just like I get a little itchy. That's about it. Nothing too crazy.
So you're not a Ross Chastain fan?
Yeah. I like him though. I like because he smashes the watermelons. Okay.
You can't be near him. in
just
Victory
can't be
Lane.
near him if
Yeah.
he wins.
Don't rub it on me, Ross.
Come on, Ross. You're rubbing me the wrong
So
way.
I'm a Ricky fan. He's
Hell
sponsored
yeah.
by Oscar Mayer hot dogs.
Hell
I
yeah.
love
Beanie Weenies. Fuck yeah, dude. I liked his ad that you showed me the other day too with the
That
energy
was
drink
funny,
or
dude.
whatever. Yeah.
I
it was-
enjoy some self-deprecation.
yeah, he was good.
He's like, was that pretty good? And they were like, no, that was really slow. It's just like, oh, darn.
20th again.
They're like, we're not sugarcoating it. Sugar-free Nas by now.
But yeah, like you have like all these prerequisites. So people come in, tell us they have severe allergies or they're allergic to this, allergic to that. They don't want it this way. They make their own menus. Like that's true to an extent, but like there is some semblance of like you can't order lasagna at my restaurant. We don't have lasagna. Just like if we don't have soft shells, we don't have soft shells. You can get hard shells, you can't get soft shells. I'm sorry, it's just
Do you have it sometimes?
Yeah, we have them when they're available because they only molt when they're the moon is full. So you get them like once a month for like a week and a half. And like yeah, it's just the nature of soft shells. That's just how they work as a species. You can't get them 24/7, or you could get them from farms, but like they're not as good, not locally caught. They're going to be more expensive. They're not going to taste the same. But like we go for like the local authentic stuff, so like we're not gonna just absolutely fucking lie to you and be like, yeah, these are like 3 times the price and they don't taste the same, but like they are soft shells, whatever. Like you
Do you
just
think some people would prefer that?
no,
No. They would bitch and they would get it and then complain about it.
They would complain about it. Most of the like they don't complain that we don't have it, but at least there's no
What's
transaction.
the difference? I'm not a big seafood fan myself.
So you can get like Japanese soft shells, and they're like more of like a meaty bodied crab, less in like the arms and the claws and stuff like that, and they're purple and they're very distinct. Like Maryland hard shells are red when you cook them. These like stay kind of this like greenish purple color, and they're very meaty.
Looks unappealing to me.
But they look completely distinct. And if you were to say like we have Maryland soft shells or number 2 soft, like whatever it is, and then put this big purple fucking disgusting thing that looks like a fucking like got crapped out of a whale. Yeah, you're gonna be mad.
No,
And, like,
I meant what's the difference between like basic knowledge here? What's the difference between a soft shell and a hard shell
just
crab?
a soft shell is just a hard shell that's molted. It just shed
molted mean?
shed its shell.
Okay.
So it's just a regular hard shell crab that's just in a transition period between shells, and then you keep them in certain
And you
conditions.
just catch them without their shell.
Well, yeah, like
They're
I said,
just out on the town without their undies on.
You know when it's going to happen. Like, so the full moon cycle, it's like every like 30 or 26 days or something like that. So
They
it's like,
fucking shed their skin.
so they shed their shells around that time. You pull them up in the same crab traps. They're just too weak to move really. So they're easy to identify. You just pluck them out. And like, yeah.
That's creepy.
I don't
know anything about. I don't really like crabs. I don't like busting open the legs and eating that little fucking nugget of meat out of it. Like it's not for me. My sisters and my dad like loved. We would go to the buffet at the Trop, and they would all like. or no, not my dad. My sisters and my stepmom would rant and rave about fucking the crab legs because they had like the big ones
King
at the casino
crab.
buffet.
Yeah, king crab legs are
they
from
would-
Alaska. They're
and it's an
different.
all you can eat, so they were just getting like plates and plates and plates of it, and I was just like, it's not. I'm not really big on like oysters or clams or
Oysters are the one that if you eat raw oysters
Mussels.
and you request that, it's no like anything cooked, that's fine. But if you request raw oysters or raw clams at my dinner table, you are banned from my dinner table. That's like I draw a line there.
like
That's,
Clams Casino or whatever.
No, Clams Casino is cooked. That's straight. Like
I
as
thought
long
it's
as
like cold though.
no, Clams Casino is where you put bacon and like
No, I'm talking about just like
a raw clam.
Yeah.
yeah, like a raw oyster. That's
clams
not
on the
clam-
shell or whatever.
Yeah, clams on the half shell. That's
Yeah.
that's raw. That Clams Casino is
we used
cooked.
to serve them. Like
Yeah.
I used to have to shuck clams, and like they would be cold, and then they would just like put them on this plate. I'm like,
Yep.
what the fuck?
You're afraid if you do that and you request that at my house for a meal, you're not allowed to come back to my house. That's fair.
Why? That seems a bit aggressive.
no, it's bait. You are eating bait. That's what oysters
protein?
are. It's minimal protein. Okay, so here's what's disgusting about oysters. Oysters are a
Don't you
membrane.
just slurp them or whatever.
Same with the clams raw, but it's like yeah,
I would try and chew the clam. I tried them when I was a kid. It was just like rubber, dude.
yeah, it's like
And you're supposed to just swallow this thing.
yeah, like it's
What's the point then?
it's
I remember they're like, "Oh, dip it in butter; it's good." And then like I did that, and like it was just like buttery rubber, and I was
Yeah.
like, "I'll give everything a shot." I've tried flounder; I don't much like it. I eat cod
Love
because
flounder.
my in-laws love cod. Like they make it semi-regularly. So when we lived there for like 6 months, I ate cod, but I don't really like cod. Like I like salmon,
salmon's tasty.
but cod is just that it's not super fishy. It's just like dry and flaky, and like I just don't.
It's just that it's a very neutral fish and it's very abundant in Britain. That's why
I don't love it. And they go nuts over cod, and I'm like,
I made a special that didn't sell this week, and I'm a little annoyed by it, but it was because it was spicy, and Avalon people are old and don't like ethnic shit. But
I might have
check-
probably enjoyed that.
dude, listen to this: broiled salmon, or not broiled, grilled salmon, and then I put no, it was a honey jalapeno bacon butter glaze on top of it.
I'm
So
in. Me and Tina would eat that.
Bro.
We would both order that for sure.
I had the glaze. I was putting it on everything. I put it on wings. I put it on salmon. I put it on chicken. It was like fucking delicious. And I'm like, why is this not selling? It's like, oh, because you got jalapeno.
Spicy.
No, it's too spicy for me. Like, yeah, I didn't mind that or whatever. I just am like more. No, oysters are a membrane. You put oysters in a body of water that's polluted, and oysters over time will clean said body of water because they take in and act like your liver. Like they're just a
Well,
sponge.
I eat liver.
It's not that it's bad for you, but it's like you cook liver. Like you can't eat
you're
raw
talking-
liver. Like I mean,
I
you
eat
should.
liver jerky.
Do you?
I've bought it.
Is it good?
Not particularly.
Well, it's
Me
still
and Grilly
cured.
bought it.
Yeah, it's still cured though. Like it's not. It like you're if you
bought
want
it
if you
because
got
there
a
was some guy on Twitter like
Liver King.
not him. It's still on Twitter. It's fucking called fuck. What's the account? It's something gay. Aurora something Borealis. It's some playoff Aurora Borealis. It's like men's something or another. This guy would always talk about the benefits of liver. Apparently, it's a chick. Like LARPing is like a bro science type thing.
Okay.
And like making money off selling these $20 bags of liver jerky or whatever the fuck. But
I'm for
it
it.
was like liver crisps.
Okay.
I bought a few bags just to like see if there was any benefits, but
How'd it taste?
it just gave me heartburn and tasted bad, and like I didn't feel any cognitive anything.
Well,
like
anyway.
it's like this is gonna change your life, and it's like yeah, I definitely just got
So
I got scammed.
eating raw oysters, you're eating all of the disgusting shit that is in the body of water that it's in, because that is cleaning the body of water that it's in. So even if you're in like crystal clear waters, the reason it's crystal clear and you're eating oysters from that water is because they are filtering all of the bad shit through themselves. And then that little thing that you're slurping, that's the thing that is like you're eating the liver of the fucking ocean.
Yeah, but it's a tasty treat.
It's not
Tony
tasty.
Soprano talks about
It's
it.
no, they're
Put
disgusting.
the butter and you slurp them down.
Dude, it's a retarded delicacy that was like it was one of those things where it was a functional thing
What about,
for
like, caviar?
Southerners. Caviar is a different story. Caviar is delicious. Caviar is good. What kind of caviar you try? The one that comes on sushi?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I say. I'm pretty
Like
limited.
the little orange stuff.
Yeah.
Tasty? A little burst on your teeth when you bite into stuff.
It doesn't
I
do
dig
much for me. I don't think it's like. I just think it's like there. It's kind of like you said. Cod's a neutral fish. I think that's
Yeah.
just like a neutral treat.
If you ever get beluga caviar or sturgeon caviar, both of those are tasty. I tried beluga caviar one time. It's legal in the U.S., but it is very good. It's very
Just eat,
oily.
like a little spoonful of it.
You take a little spoon, you put it on a toast point with some like a very like a brie cheese, like a loose kind of like creamy cheese.
Some
And
goat
dude,
cheese.
it's fucking delicious. But it's expensive as fuck, and it's like it's like the cocaine of eating. It's like very fleeting. There's no,
Yeah.
you're not gonna fill up on caviar, and if you do, you're gonna feel like a fat piece of shit because you're just eating like this like a
Millions of fish eggs.
Yeah, like high sodium with like very little protein, and it's just gonna make you shit your
Like
brains
me
out.
and pickles for fucking breakfast. this
Pickles are
morning.
different. Pickles have some nutritional value because that fucking juice will rehydrate you. It'll make you retain water. better.
Electrolytes. It's a warm day out, you know. It's
Absolutely.
Prepared.
That was a practical breakfast right there. It's the fucking
I get those
miss me with that
Bubbies. They're called, the brand's called Bubbies. And it's like
single serve pickle.
no, it's like a jar of like they're like bread and butter pickle chips or whatever. but
Oh,
they're
yeah,
kinda
those are
sweet.
tasty.
It's like $10 a jar. It's like the hippie. They're like real probiotics. Like it's like real old school, like fermented. They make sauerkraut too. And it's like, I don't know, it's the real deal. And I eat their sauerkraut sometimes too.
Sauerkraut
but
good?
I don't really love it, but when I was like having stomach issues, I was like, oh, the probiotics. Like I'll eat some sauerkraut. Like apparently it's beneficial, but pickles I just enjoy.
You ever try volcano pickles?
No.
They're my favorites. They're like it's just
What
like,
are those new like pickle snacks you see all the time? They're called like pickled chips or some fucking.
Yeah, they got
are
them
they-
at Wawa. I thought that was what you were talking about. They're just like they're hot Diablo pickles. It's just they put like red pepper and like
They're just
stuff
regular
in-
pickles though.
Yeah.
It's like in juice.
Yeah, and
I didn't know if they were like dehydrated pickle chips or something like that. Like
I would try a dehydrated pickle chip. I tried some pickle jerky.
pickled jerky.
Yeah, man. Let me chew on that pickle a little while. I don't know.
Pause.
No. I got that.
That's the quote. That's what this episode's called.
Pickle
Let me
jerky.
chew on that pickle for a
Let me
little
chew
while.
on that. I feel like that's like an AI song that just hasn't been made yet. Let me chew on that pickle jerky for a little while.
You didn't say jerky though. You're like,
No, just let me
you
chew on
lit-
that pickle for a little while.
Yeah, you're like, let me chew on that pickle for a little while. Just chop that right there.
Fuck yeah, dude. No, I just
We again got way too stoned and are starting to.
no, like I've been trying to get back to the
Sorry.
restaurant rant for like a half hour, but no, just anyway. You have shellfish allergies. Don't go to a seafood restaurant. It's as simple as that. Tim Dillon is over explaining that. The other thing is that like he says that people have given up the authority in restaurants and that like you just do whatever. There's like giving up authority and letting the complete customers like Red Lobster, and there's a reason they're going out of business, where it's like people just go in there, they're unrealistic with their expectations, and because of that they had to give so much free shit, like do promotionally
Well-
free shit and fish the ocean into existence.
Well, who's their?
Primary clientele.
Yeah, I think
Exactly.
it's a primate.
Both are applicable. Well, yeah, like they had a business model that wasn't sustainable, and it's like you can't expect a place that's like going to be like $2.99 all you can eat fucking like micro shrimp. Like it's not going to sustain itself. So I don't think that there's like an authority that has been relinquished as much as it's just people's demands and expectations are higher. And if you meet them kind of in the middle, it works like we do. And where it's like, hey, we're not going to comp your meal, but like if you didn't like something you made, we'll knock 15% off, but you're still paying, double what the regular entree would have been anyway. So we make it up on the back end, like, 'cause we just double charge you. Like, it's just not double charge, but like think about this. Like, so we have like a shrimp scampi that we do, but we had to change it because people didn't know how to say the word scampi.
What would they say?
They would just be like shrimps camping or like the shrimp dish or like something like that.
Shrimps camping.
And then we get like way too fucking hung up on the actual word scampi to not read what's in the thing. They just expect it to be like pasta with shrimp. And it's like, it's got like garlic and butter and like tomatoes and some, oregano and stuff like that in there. It's seasoned, but they were just expecting like a plate of pasta and shrimp, but it was because they got hung up on the word. So we just changed it to like, we have the fettuccine, list, like everything that comes over fettuccine, we just have shrimp over fettuccine. So we changed that, no complaints. But now people are like, I want either double protein or I want like crab on it as well, which we don't really advise. I want to do shrimp scampi, but I want to do it with a tomato base instead of a garlic base. And we tell them, it's like, look, like the menu is set the way that it is. If you don't like it, you're not allowed to take it off your bill. And they're like, okay, they get it. They take 2 bites. They hate it. And it's like, they order something else. So now they have 2 entrees that they have to pay for, but we'll take 15% off their bill because it's like, yeah, you know what? Like we respect that you didn't flip out or whatever. Like some people do flip out, we still give them the 15%, but it's like, yeah,
They want a full swap.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not how this works.
yeah, it's not how this works. You made your own item. So like, yeah, like I'm saying, like we meet.
Tina, what drives me nuts, and I know a lot of women do this, but Tina, I have to order her food, you know what I mean, if I'm going to pick something up.
Yeah.
And she's always trying to pull audibles, like go off menu, be like, ask them if they'll put honey mustard in this or do this and do that, or the menu doesn't say they have chocolate chip French toast, but see if they'll add that. And like most places say no, but she still makes me fucking ask every time. And I'm like, they don't want to do that. Like they'll add it to the side in that little cup that's going to melt on my fucking ride home. But like, it's always like I don't know. Chicks love doing some like off menu shit.
Well, yeah, because it's because they don't know how to cook anymore, and that's kind of the thing is that they see.
No, Tina can cook. It's just like she has no problem with like she doesn't like asking them. That's why she makes me do it. But like I don't know. She wants the thing how she wants it, but me, I don't want to inconvenience anyone. So it's just like I'll just settle for whatever's there, even if it's not the ideal version. It's like I'm not going to ask to add. I mean, unless it's like a salad, I'll be like, if it's something reasonable, like, can I get grilled chicken on the salad? Like, that's fine. But like, she's always having me ask some like off the wall shit. And
you actually just made me realize something about like why my dating life has been very difficult. Whenever I have a chick do that, I just like look at like the chick will be like, I'm like, it's like, there's this chick Wendy
that I blame her when I'm asking.
Exactly,
I'm like, sorry, my girlfriend.
Yeah, well, I was like,
trying to get some empathy out of the counter chick.
We went to this like really, really nice restaurant on a slow night. It was like a very high-end restaurant on like a Wednesday night or something like that in New Orleans, like on the off season too. So like nobody was there, and it was like they were happy to seat us. But like the bill was gonna be like about like $250. Like I was really balling out for this chick. And it was an Italian, like it was like Italian influence, but it kind of had like Spanish, like they had like arroz de pollo and like they had like some like Middle Eastern stuff too. Like I can't like not shish kebabs, but like skewers or something. There was like, it was a very eclectic menu, and I was like you know, boom, this is easy. Chicks like variety. We can get like a little appetizer of this, a little entree of that, and just split everything up or whatever. But
girl dinner.
Yeah, but she like it just seriously like right off the bat was like, you know, I want this, but I don't want the bolognese, but I want that over this, and I'm like, okay, I'll order for you. And I was like, she'll have what I'm having. And she was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I got like the gumbo over their Spanish rice.
Tina would not go for that.
She loved it. She loved it.
Really?
And, yeah. And I'm like, shut up. And like the whole time that she was like chewing through the side of her mouth, like, why would you do that? That is such a fucking... There's like, you know, throwing the masculinity thing back in my face, but she's like, that's such a fucking toxic masculinity thing to do. I'm like, they make the menu for a reason. Those chefs are back there every day not doing this because they worry about what you want to concoct in your head as a good meal. I assure you that what is put in front of you will be delicious. Trust me. And she was like, already giving me to. She was happy as a clam by the time the appetizers were done because she wanted to like get like this mozzarella dish and like this other thing and then like get them. And I'm like, no. They have burrata. That's gonna get both. It's gonna satiate everything you want. She's like, I don't want to try that. And I'm like, have you ever had burrata? She's like, no, I don't want to try it. I was like, we'll get the burrata. Sure enough, 2 bites of it. She's like, can we get another one of these? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this is like Dino's, and like these are $250 establishments. I'm asking weird stuff too.
But like, but still, like when you have a chick, you got
ask if they have goat cheese. I'm like,
why?
I'm going to fucking Village Kitchen. Like, I don't think they're gonna add goat cheese to this.
Feta. It's close enough.
Yeah, like it's just no. She asked something like that at the Tuckahoe diner. She was like, honey, we got American or provolone. That's about it.
Do you see the
she
establishment
was like,
you're in?
You have goat cheese. No,
are you blind?
I looked at her like, why would you ask that here? Like, it's always... It's not just chicks, but my chick loves doing
it's predominant. Like, I would say like 9 out of 10.
We went to some... It was like a famous diner. Like, it was good. It was like a restaurant.
Ooh, wait, check this out. Hello?
This is an urgent update from Pulse Lending regarding your loan application. Phone number 888-531-5815.
This is the one where the guy starts talking at the end.
Our underwriting department requires
they all sound like this.
additional information to proceed. To speak to a member of our team, please press 2.
Yeah.
To be placed on our do not call list, please press 9.
Press 2. Aw.
He hung up on me. Yeah. It's like predominantly, like, from my experience working in a restaurant, it's like 9 out of 10, it's like chicks just want to make their own menu, and it's because they don't know how to cook. They don't understand. Like, I'm not saying that Tina doesn't know how to cook or she's not a good cook or whatever. I'm saying it's because they
Doesn't know how the system works back there in the back house.
It's like that exactly, where it's like, you guys
My
don't.
mom's like, she's in the business and she's like more accommodating with that. Like, she was usually like, well, we can make it that way or whatever. Like, when she was more of like a customer's always right type. Like, she didn't get bothered when people would want to switch it up until like the whole gluten free and all that shit came around. But she did like banquet, like weddings and stuff like that. So I guess that was definitely more of the customer's always right. But
Well, more so too. She's making like 300 things in bulk, but it's like only like 3 items, and it's like, if somebody doesn't want fucking scallions on their fucking salad or whatever, like,
Yeah.
easy. Table 4, seat 3, like, just hold that. It's like a conveyor belt, probably more.
But she worked in regular kitchen jobs too, and she was always just like,
And it's like,
within reason.
I'm never
like,
not accommodating to people either. What I'm saying though is that there's like this, like, they think that everything back there is Hell's Kitchen, and it's not. It's not like we're being creative. We're not back there doing science experiments. It's like we make a special for the week, and it's usually
dial it in.
Yeah. It's like really that. It's just like figuring out what you have the most of, and then figuring out how to make it slightly different so that you can get away with using it as a special. And it's like, just, okay, we blacken this. All right, well, we have a lot of that, so we're blackening that this week, and then think of a sauce that we have on hand. All right, we have onions, we have olive oil, we have butter. All right, we're doing like a sautéed onion over red snapper, this week with a lemon butter glaze or something like that. Like, just something that you could like make out of what you have on hand. But like, people like come in or like, we had somebody tell us that our butter was fake. We got butter.
I thought it was like movie theater butter or something.
No, they said that they are some, like, they make butter or something on their own, and told us that, like, no, we want to see the fat in the butter. And we're like, well, we strain the fat out of our butter because we use clarified butter. We don't use that much fat in what they're like, no, this is not real butter. So we literally have to go get pounds of butter and microwave them in bowls, to the point where they're like, that's what we do to like. And it's like, it's one of those things where, if there wasn't like a tip,
A customer was saying this?
Yes, a customer made us do this. They come in once a year and make us do this, and we're like
That wouldn't be a customer of mine anymore. Sorry, I'm having a stroke over here. That would not be a customer of mine anymore.
Oh, but they spend $1,100 every time they come in.
Okay, maybe.
and like
Why? Okay, I'll prove it to you once, but then it's like, you got to do this every year.
yeah,
Like, it's fucking
bring
butter.
your own fucking butter.
What do you think we're using? What are they accusing of using? Margarine?
I don't know. They never have a good explanation. They're just like,
This shit's cut.
we know what real butter is. That's not real butter, and they get all sassy about it. And then, like, the one time the guy followed one of our waitresses back into the
Did
kitchen.
you choose ghee? You said you use clarified butter.
What's ghee?
Clarified butter.
What does that mean? Ghee?
Ghee. I don't even know what it means. Are you a cook? Don't you know this stuff?
What the hell are you talking? I've never heard of this.
It's just clarified butter. It's like butter without the fat, but in a cube form or in a block.
Oh, no, never use that. We use the real stuff. We use regular salted AA cream.
But I think you're technically making ghee when you clarify it.
I think ghee is brown butter. Actually, I think
No.
that's no.
No,
It's like cooked. It's reduced, right?
I don't fucking know. I don't know, dude. You're the chef. You don't know what ghee is?
I've never heard of this. I work with butter daily.
I can't remember my passcode. I'm too fucking stoned. My face ID isn't working, dude. I'm changing, man.
You just got your calculator open.
Nothing's coming up.
What is it? GAEE?
GHEE, clarified butter. Ghee is a type of clarified butter originating from India. It is commonly used for cooking.
Yeah, we don't use any of that.
I was just joking because you said clarified butter and like ghee is clarified. So I was like,
No, I'm curious. I
don't know if what you make would technically be ghee. I don't know. I don't know about the genres of butter.
all I see right there is just it, like, in solid form. So I'm having a hard time finding it as butter, ghee, or oil. Huh. Interesting. No, I'm gonna have to go try this shit now.
Yeah. What's you skim the fat out of your butter?
You heat it
I
up.
think that's what ghee is.
It's just butter without fat.
Clarified butters from which all milk solids have been removed.
Huh.
It doesn't say ghee. Variations, ghee. So they're the same thing.
Okay.
So that's what it would look like if it was melted.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you're getting, and they.
I was just making a word pun.
Oh,
And,
I
like,
had no idea.
I thought you would know what ghee was, but
Never heard of it.
yeah, I don't know.
We had a
Guess
chef.
it's more of my fudge doctor realm of like hippie health. Like,
Did you ever
eat
hear
some
that?
ghee.
You ever hear of Himalayan mad honey? No. I want to try it.
I wanted to make a pun out of that, but I just
Himalayan
I
bad honey.
I was like, I saw
He's
the
got hemorrhoids.
I saw the potential, and I was just like, "This, whatever comes out of my mouth is gonna be bad."
It's just honey that makes you hallucinate a little bit. It's
That sounds fun.
yeah, it's made by these like bees that I don't know. They make it in a certain way where it's like the bees know how to refine it from like certain plants.
Like
and
licking a toad.
yeah, it's got like some mild stimulant in it or something that makes you all tingly. And if you take too
Happens
much of
when I
it,
eat too much sugar.
if you eat too much of it, you'll get paralyzed, which is kind of sketchy. But like if you eat just the right amount of it, it makes you like trip. And like it's they sell it online. You
That
can
doesn't
get
sound like a good risk reward.
it's
If
easy
I
to
eat
like.
just enough, I'll have a great time. If I eat too much,
It's easy to
Stephen
dose
Hawking.
out. Yeah. Well, by the way, it was funny. My boss and / owner's 18-year-old niece came down. She's working at the restaurant this year.
I don't like where this is going.
No, she's maybe. All right. So
Is that your date tonight?
yeah. Sup,
Really?
Gwenny? No.
Oh my God.
No, Gwenny's the shit. Nah, Gwenny's the shit. I've known her since
You
she
said
was
that so nonchalantly that I was like, damn.
her whole family's ball
You go from a
breakers.
50-year-old to an 18-year-old. You're all over the fucking
52
spectrum.
no, I'm kidding. But no, I've known her since she was a little kid. She actually has my hot dog suit. She's the one that
Again, don't like where this is going. You're talking about hot dogs, 18-year-olds.
She has a lobster suit, like a
grooming.
lobster costume
grooming.
that she wears to work because we're a seafood restaurant. So she puts on the lobster costume and whatever. It's cute. Customers coming.
I remember the picture of you with your hot dog
I
suit
wore
at
my
work.
hot dog costume, and she was like, "I want that." So for her 15th birthday, I gave it to her as it was
For a
just like
quinceañera.
a quinceañera. Yeah. So I
Gave
gave
her
her
a hot dog.
Yeah, I gave her the hot
I
dog
like this,
suit.
Joe.
So the next time I talked to her dad, who was my chef at the time, he's like, "Oh yeah, check this out." And Gwenny was sitting on her bed wearing the hot dog suit, reading a book, and I'm like, "That's fucking adorable." Like,
Probably smelled.
it's covered in blood. I wore that thing.
Your
to,
Ginzo fucking BO.
I used to wear that
Just
thing
smells
to
like a
concerts.
Wawa hoagie.
It does, yeah.
Oh.
And apparently she would
Like
like
some
wear
hockey gear.
She would wear it to basketball practice too, which is even funnier to me. But yeah,
So it just stunk even
yeah,
more.
exactly. But no, so I have like a great wholesome relationship with like Mike. His sister's my boss / owner, and then her nieces and whatnot. Michaela, her sister, is the one that made the original logo. Shout out. So they're good kids. They're just very.
These are just jokes.
No, their dad would probably listen to this and be like, Joe couldn't get my kids. What the fuck? The fat retard. Yeah, so Gwenny was like, she came down, we were talking or something like that. We got on the subject of Stephen Hawking, and she just blurts out, pedo. And Michelle was like, why would you say that? No, he's not a pedo, he's an astrophysicist. And we're like,
Wasn't
no.
he like
He was on
a
Epstein.
confirmed
Yeah,
pedo?
he's like on Epstein's island, and he used to make midgets solve math
Apparently
problems.
he was a scam.
What, Hawking?
Yeah, apparently it was complete bullshit. Owen Benjamin went deep on it on like a Twitter live.
There's a lot of theories about astrophysicists being hucksters.
No,
yeah.
not that he was a scam as an astrophysicist. That there was nothing going on up there at all. There's footage of Stephen Hawking. I guess we can look it up. Can you even play it on here?
Yeah,
Can you do that?
Probably.
I'll send you a link. It's like early Stephen Hawking footage with the handler. Kumia, I think, talked about it.
He got it.
It was just like he was literally making like incoherent noises and stuff, and then his handler was being like, "Well, he said the theory of the Earth is," and it was just like you're getting that from that. Like it just seemed like such a rouge.
Rouge?
Yes,
Do you know what rouge means?
Moulin Rouge. I don't know
It's French for red, but you meant ruse.
that too.
You put it in the
Oh,
book.
fucking! I eat freedom fries. What was I looking up?
Stephen Hawking being handled.
I had
Stephen-
Earl typed in. I was gonna look up. when you know why, it'll make sense. I was gonna type in early Stephen Hawking footage, and I'm like, it just says Earl Dibbles Jr.
Earl
Like, who the
Hawking.
fuck? I remember Earl Dibbles Jr. now, and I'm like, Earl Dibbles Jr. Who the fuck?
Earl Hawking.
My name is Earl Dibbles Jr.
That was it. Earl Hawking.
Early Stephen Hawking with Hitler.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually have no I have no dog in this fight. I just have Cheyenne.
Physics has much contact with mysticism. Physics aims to find a rational model for the universe. And mysticism aims to describe the universe basically as a mystery.
I mean, I'm not getting the video end of it, but I mean,
I think in a way physics has been a progress away from mysticism towards a rational understanding of the universe.
He's supposed to be translated.
Stephen, when did you first realize you wanted to be a physicist?
well, in 1911, I decided that I was gonna.
I think I knew from about the age of 9 or 10 that I wanted to be a scientist. Most of my activities, like playing with model fireworks, or model railways, or playing complicated games, was aimed in some way at finding out how the world worked around me.
Well, this
I
is
was never very
extremely
good at
uncomfortable. That guy's a pedophile.
But I was always interested in models.
You get what I'm saying though? That like,
Yeah, I know. Now I understand entirely what you mean. That's
like it
fucking
was kind of like the
bizarre.
Helen Keller thing, where apparently that's all bullshit. Like apparently Stephen Hawking is just completely a farce, and they just like propped him up to be like a figurehead because he drew like shock value or whatever. Like that, he was like a marketable gimmick.
Kind of like
Like-
Neil
like
deGrasse
the-
Tyson being black.
Similar disabilities. Yeah. Wasn't he like hitting on his workers and stuff?
Yeah,
He was
you
like,
gotta call
see
it.
my big scientific penis.
Got accused of that. Yeah.
I can see it.
Black
Fucking
science.
general autist that got no pussy in high school, being like
That
using that level of fame and power to be like,
you want to hear
I'm
something
gonna do a
kind of?
science experiment on my penis.
I forget who. It's not Werner von Braun, but it was someone that was associated with the Apollo missions. There was a couple of these like egghead nerds that were like, they knew that there was like Neil Armstrong and like the other guy.
Lance Armstrong.
Yeah,
they rode
Lance
their bikes to the moon.
Lance and fucking Louis
Toward the
Armstrong.
moon.
Louis Armstrong blowing his fucking horn. No, it's the fucking dude, Chuck Yeager. Like people like that they were these just like maverick pilots that were ballsy. It would be like similar to what's his fucking thing? Bob Lazar, where it's like this guy might be good at science or he might have like the know-how to do certain things, but like the science behind what he's actually doing is more of like an afterthought that someone else has kind of put together, and he's just the guy that had the balls to put the fucking rocket on the motorcycle and ride it. Like that's what Chuck Yeager was the first
That's
guy
what
to break.
Stephen Hawking was.
Well, yeah,
He's the one who had the balls to
but-
put the rocket on his
on his cock and then he fucked them up. But yeah,
no, on his scooter chair.
Well, so the theory was that the Soviets knew we had Werner von Braun, and they knew he was like kind of a high profile celebrity, so they wouldn't be able to like kind of guilt, and he was like staunchly anti-commie too because he was a Nazi. But yeah, Operation Paperclip, look into it. But yeah,
I've heard of that.
so yeah, us stealing all the Nazis that
Yeah,
were signed.
that's like a very,
Yeah,
in the conspiracy world, that's like a,
I mean it was real. It's like
no,
yeah.
it's like a talking point. Like
Oh,
it's like, you know
yeah.
what I mean, it's just referenced a lot in like
Yeah, 'cause-
conspiracy forums
yeah,
and stuff like that.
Because a lot of the Nuremberg trials, a lot of those guys got put to death, but then some of them disappeared for a while and then turned up as U.S. NASA scientists.
Yeah.
And, Werner von Braun was one of the most egregious. He was the guy that used to hang Jews outside of his factory, his rocket factory, to make the workers work harder. Yeah, that guy
Pretty
made.
good incentive program.
Yeah, that guy got us to the moon. But that
We didn't go to the moon.
Yes, we did.
No, we did not.
Yes, we did.
No, he did not.
Shot in Stanley Kubrick's basement in
Yeah.
Mulholland Drive. But So the theory was that the Soviets would send over these like buxom fucking Swedish chicks, like that were like supposed to be trying to honeypot the NASA scientists, and they're like, well, we know like Chuck Yeager and Armstrong and like all these higher up dudes that like they're insulated enough where they're not really the meat and potatoes of it. They're just figureheads and celebrities. So we're gonna go like try and infiltrate like the NASA, like the Houston NASA thing. So they send all these like prostitutes, like the Soviet. Whatever their KGB or whatever sends all these prostitutes over to like Houston to try and get inside NASA, and the scientists are so autistic they couldn't really pick up on that the prostitutes are hitting on them. They would just be like, okay, bye.
They're too scared to make a move.
Yeah, exactly. Like literally too fucking like autistic to be like have any confidence in the game or anything like that. And they're like, these women literally would have fucked you for information that you probably could have just given them. Like you're so smart, you could have thought of something on the fly that would have been
disinformation and gotten laid.
Yeah, but they were like, no, we're nerds. Like they couldn't fucking fathom it. It was too funny. I like that. I like living in that world in my head. That I'm
the nerd.
You're not a nerd. I'm a nerd. I fucking read books.
No, I'm saying in that scenario, you would be the guy to get laid. I would be the guy to be like, all right, I gotta go pick up my Chinese food now and go home and watch fucking
Sopranos,
a mini series. Yeah, Sopranos.
It's a mini series. It's a pretty big series actually. It's 6 seasons.
6A and 6B.
Yeah, man. It's an impressive thing.
Tony B.
How you doing? Hey,
we can just get it out of the way. My little NASCAR recap and keep it quick.
No, you're good. I'm gonna go pee real quick.
It's Heim time in the truck.
Hey. Ow. Hey. None of that. Ow. None of that.
It's Heim time.
not leaving.
Cheyenne is not a Corey Heim fan.
No, she doesn't like him.
She's a cheater. Corey Heim, absolutely dominant performance in the trucks. Not much to say there. He just, ran up front all day, got the win. So he'll probably be moving his way up to Cup or at least Xfinity next year. I don't think he'll be in the trucks next year. Will he go to 2311? Will he go to, what was the other one? Legacy Motor Club? We will see when silly season begins. Silly season's already underway. SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen wins on the road course in Portland. I was really looking forward to watching this race. I didn't watch any of the races live this weekend. I was busy doing stuff with the family, so I DVR'd it. And rookie mistake, I went on Facebook while I guess the race had just wrapped up, and it was a picture of SVG doing his burnout drift. So I spoiled the race before I even watched it. But I watched it again, or I watched it even though I knew the result. I watched it anyway that night. Great race. He was towards the front all day, but he didn't. It wasn't a runaway. He had to earn that one. That was pretty cool. Not that he didn't earn his win in Chicago last year, but if you take a snapshot with 20 laps to go, I mean, he's dominant on the road courses, but he's later half of the top 10, I think. All guys seem to be running away with it there, but SVG gets it done in Portland, does this amazing rolling burnout around the entirety of the road course, which, of course, Fox finds a way to fuck up. They run side by side with commercials the entire time he's doing this massive drifting burnout around the entire road course. So instead of hearing those bald eagles scream, you just hear another Progressive ad and whopper. Did
you see the thing? It was like
whopper.
if 9/11 happened nowadays.
Side by side.
It's like this.
So annoying, dude.
It is the worst goddamn ad.
SVG won his first race of the season, and he does it was apparently his celly. He's from New Zealand, raced in Australia, and he raced in like the supercar series. It's like they race sports cars on road courses. Cool. And his celly, when he's like world champion, when he would win out there, he would do like a rolling drifting burnout around like the whole like Jim Conning the entire race course. Well, no one really knew he was going to do this, but he's doing this like. He's doing like donuts in each corner where the grandstands are, and then he's just like keeps the burnout going, and he just like drifts the whole track. And the whole time there, you couldn't hear it. Like they were just running side by side ads. Their Twitter was just like people furious, like lighting them up. FS1, Fox. A lot of people in the NASCAR fandom are excited and relieved that this is the last week with Fox of the season, and then we'll be switching to NBC after Sonoma this weekend. I don't think anyone hates Fox because of the commentators, like Mike Joy, Clint Boyer, Kevin Harvick. Like Boyer gets a lot of flack, but Mike Joy's a legend, and most people seem to be liking Kevin Harvick
He's a
this
joy
year.
to
His
listen to.
first year in the booth. Yes, he is. But yeah, Fox's production is just like really bad. So that's the Xfinity race. SVG gets it done, edges out Allgaier there with like 5 to go, and then runs away with it. And then the Cup race, there's a lot to talk about, but Bell and Blaney battling for the win with 20 to go. Bell loses a cylinder or something. Like he comes over the radio, he's like, I'm blowing up, because they're literally like side by side for laps, just like whoever gets in front here is gonna win. Right. And then in the middle of this amazing battle, Bell had the dominant car of the day. He's getting around Blaney. Blaney's just trying to hold on for dear life type situation, and they just cut to like 2 10-year-old Christopher Bell fans in the crowd and like show them cheering, like, and they don't go side by side. Like, as he's like about to like start making the pass, they just cut to this for like 15 seconds. And I out loud was like, what the fuck are you doing? Show the fucking race. Like, the production of Fox has been like, apparently, like, Fox was like the shit when they came out in like 2001. Like, they were heat. Like, they were the fucking, they've always split like half the year with NBC, and like Fox was the fan favorite. But now it's just like they constantly make like production errors like that. Like, this is like the battle for the win, and you're like jumping to the crowd, like showing some 10-year-olds cheering. Like, he didn't complete the pass yet. He didn't, like, why? Like, there's fucking, it's a 3.5 hour race. There's like 10 minutes left, and you're cutting to the crowd right now. Like, this is so much buildup for this moment, and then you cut away from it. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous how comically bad Fox's production has been, and they're getting tons of flack on like from all the different NASCAR social media, podcasters and YouTubers and whatnot.
I can't speak for NASCAR, but I can absolutely tell you that ESPN and Fox this year are both the worst for the MLB. Fox is pretty bad because they have Joe Buck commentating on some of the games, and he is a very fucking hard. He's okay for football. For whatever reason, when they bring him into baseball, like, I think he does like the Texans or the Rangers, one of the two of them, because he's like a Texas guy, or I don't know if he's even based out of Texas. I think it's just like he has some deal with when Fox is down there doing a production, he's just on it for whatever reason, and he's like listening to fucking paint dry. He is the
Joe Buck sucks.
He is the fucking
He's an interesting
worst.
dude. He's been on some podcasts. I forget if it was Rogan or O&A or something or another. O&J. I forget. I've seen him long form, and like, he is a semi-likable dude, and like, you do kind of empathize with how much hate he gets, but like, I think he was on Opie's show.
Really?
I don't remember, but he sucks. Like, the hate is deserved. Like, I don't necessarily feel bad for him, but I don't enjoy him as an announcer.
This is the only thing I liked him in. It's Joe Buck.
It's just Stephen Hawking again.
Yeah.
Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck with my partner, Troy Aikman. Today we have a real nail-biter in store as the Viet Cong take on the Americans. Today's war is brought to you by Burger King, have it your way, and by FanDuel, bet on any American to be blown up by a landmine, win 150 worth of free bets. New customers only. Let's get right into the action with Captain Tony and his squad of 150 Marines. We see the Americans taking a very slow approach as they enter the jungle. The Viet Cong waits in position for a possible tree ambush. Oh, and here it comes. Americans are losing troops quickly. It looks like they may have to retreat. Those Vietnam...
Here's the other one.
That song
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fox's coverage of an American bombing run on Hiroshima. I'm Joe Buck, and with me, as always, is Troy Aikman.
This AI.
It's a crisp August morning in southern Japan, and what goes better in the morning than Dunkin' Donuts? America runs on Dunkin'.
This song gets me jazzed.
Japan's air defenses have been
Coming up
laughable in
soon.
the last few months.
I'm not even a
Do you
current
see them
football
putting up
fan.
any kind of a fight?
I just can't, Joe. Japan has been miserable recently, but they just refuse to quit. I could see bombings like this one going on for months.
It looks like we're starting here, so let's cut to the aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Here comes the Enola Gay. It's about overhead of Hiroshima now. Gay, and he drops the payload. Let's take another look with the Toyota Instant Replay.
Looks like it only dropped one bomb, Joe. Can't expect it to do much damage.
You really can't, Troy. But what you can expect is for America to tune in to a brand new episode of The Simpsons, followed by a new Family Guy, only on Fox.
That is the other massive complaint about NASCAR on Fox is the amount of commercials they run. Apparently, one of the last races was 200 and something. It was like 3 hours, let's say, and it was like an hour and 20 minutes of commercials or something like that. Like
Jesus
it's like
Christ.
It was like egregious. It's like every 10 laps they're running an ad. I'm excited for next season with NASCAR broadcasting. Dale Jr. left NBC. He's going into the Amazon and TNN space. They have 10 races. The whole media deal it used to be Fox the first half, NBC the second half. Fox gets the Daytona 500, NBC gets the championship. Like it kind of was just split in half. But now Fox is getting 10, Amazon's getting 5, TNN is getting Turner, whatever.
Oh, okay.
The Nashville Network or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I keep doing that today, sorry. But yeah, Amazon and TNN are getting 5 apiece, like 10, and then I guess NBC's getting the last 16. I don't fucking know, but it's getting split some weird fucking way.
It's like, I don't know. I don't like that. They're doing that with Apple.
I'm just excited that Fox is getting less.
Good, yeah, same.
And I'm excited because, sorry, I lost my train of thought, but I think with streaming, the burden doesn't lie as heavily on advertising. Like they don't have to.
Yeah.
They don't have to run. They don't have to cut away in the heat of a moment to get the ad in. Where it's like they can just wait until it makes sense.
Yeah, the moment is right.
It's not like they're just trying to cram as much ads in as possible. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know how they're going to run their advertising, but even with, they're not going to have to rush through the post race. Like before, they used to interview like the top 5 or the top 10 guys on pit road, and it's like now they might interview the winner. And like that's usually about it. Like some weeks, I guess when scheduling allows, they'll interview the top 10. But
interviewing Stenhouse's dad getting choked out. It's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, he got a nice $75,000 fine. His dad is banned indefinitely.
Somebody will be by with the rest tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really. I did Heim in the trucks, SVG Heim in the trucks,
Hyman,
SVG in Portland, and then I talked about Bell. I got on a tangent about Fox, but Bell blows up when he's probably going to take the lead away from Blaney for the win. Blaney holds on, has a 1 to 2 second lead on his teammate Austin Cindric in second. Coming to the white flag, and Blaney runs out of gas. They didn't even know they were in any danger. If they had known they were low or whatever, they can fuel save. And had they known and like alerted him to be like, hey man, only go 70% throttle, not 100. Like they can save and conserve and get a few extra laps and stuff. And they had no idea. They thought he was blowing up, and he was like, they show his radio on the TV, and it's just, I'm out of star gas. I'm out of fucking gas. He's very fiery in the car.
That's Blaney, right?
Yeah, he's got a super temper in the car, and
I bet
it was just a very, very short and sweet. They're like, "What's going on with Blaney? Let's cut to his radio." I'm out of fucking gas. Yeah, literally.
The fucking steering wheel just goes flying out the window. Like,
he coasted to a nice 24th place finish. I was
fucking Stenhouse.
I was dumbfounded. I don't hate Austin Cindric, but I don't love him. He's a Nepo hire. His dad is the CEO of
Cindric Lamar
of Penske Motorsports.
And the Penske Trucking Company, that family.
Roger Penske owns that. Okay. They also own IndyCar. They also own Team Penske in IndyCar and Team Penske in NASCAR. But he owns the entirety of IndyCar. He also owns Indianapolis and the Indy 500.
Wait, the Indianapolis,
Roger
the city?
Penske.
He owns the city of Indianapolis.
No, the racetrack. My bad.
He owns the
Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
I remember there was this really good episode of Cops that was outside of the Indianapolis 500 speed track where this like fucking lady was doing heroin and left her kids outside, and the cops wake her up.
Seems like a fun activity to go watch a race.
I was gonna say, it's like this. None of this is making any fucking sense to me, because you could see the grandstands for the Indy 5, and there's not like a race going on or anything, but there is like just this like dirt flea motel over at like where the cops
Makes
are
sense.
at.
Kind of near the racetrack in Dover, there was some dirtbag flea fucking motels.
I'm sure that
they build tracks like
in the
away from fucking society.
I mean, it makes sense, but no, it was very funny. That just always stuck out to me because it was like, it's like this very fat black woman that's clearly just nodded out, and like her kids are outside trying to break into the hotel room, and she's like, I ain't watching my kids, and they're like, yeah, you were supposed to be watching your kids are outside. She's like, nah, I gave my kids to my daughter. And like, yeah, it's like, no, clearly,
you're also a kid.
They just fell out of the window and just arrest her. It's like, all right, so now the kids are back inside, but she's nowhere to be found. It was funny. Yeah, Indianapolis. Ever been?
Austin. No, I've never been to Indy. Austin Cindric, second career Cup win, but
he's got another one. We'll call him the Cindric block.
He's a Nepo ride, but I mean, good for him.
What can he do?
I mean, someone's got to do it, but
I'll do it.
There's really not any drivers now that are like an everyman. Like most of them,
except Ricky Stenhouse.
I mean, Ryan Blaney's dad was a NASCAR driver, Dave Blaney. Like most of them are, generational racers or come from, they have insane sponsorship backing, or like their dad owns Menards, like the fucking massive chain store. Like Paul Menard's dad owned Menards, and like he just sponsored a bunch of cars and like sponsored he still sponsors the ARCA Menard series. Like it's like that's a pretty good way to get your son a ride. It's just to like throw zillions of dollars at own a team.
Like it's easy.
I'm sure there's tons of fucking amazing drivers like our boy 11R and the fucking Tommy Rink Machine,
and Shane Gillis in the comedy machine.
Our buddy 11R and the Tommy Rink Machine. Get it?
Yeah.
I said it backwards.
The machine. Yeah, I don't know. I'm stoned.
This is so.
Yeah, I can't believe we're 3 hours in.
Holy shit!
2 hours and 48 minutes.
Yeah.
What else you got? Anything else on NASCAR?
Raving about how they need to get get guys like JD McDuffie back in the circuit.
Richard Petty.
He was like a factory ride. His dad was a NASCAR driver.
What's the guy? Dick Trickle.
I have JD in my notes. He was a guy who died in 91 at Watkins Glen, but he was like the last of the Mohicans as far as
well, we call them Mexicans now.
Yes. JD McDuffie, RIP. He was one of the last true independent owner-operator drivers where like he was just a guy who had like a small shop and like worked on his own car, drove his car to the track. It's kind of how NASCAR was in the 50s, 60s and stuff like that when it was still small.
Sounds wholesome.
And he was like the last one from that generation where he was like he died when he was 52. He was still racing, but like that was in 91, but he raced through 4 different decades. Like he'd been racing since he was like 18 or some shit, and never had a win. 692 starts, no wins. But that was back when it was open, so like you could just show up to the track with a race car and try and make the race type thing.
I saw a short on that the other day about they were talking about stock cars. When stock cars, you would have to go and get some kind of like slip from the dealership you bought it from. Then you were only allowed to drive it from the dealership to the auto race yard or whatever, and then there was like an 8-hour scrutinization of like every bell and whistle, and like if you had like aftermarket nuts or something, they would just automatically reject you, and there was like ways of them
different now.
Marking your car to show if you have put aftermarket parts on it or something, like so that if you try to re-enter the same car with the stock parts on, they could see it. I don't know, it's like taping the door or whatever. It was neat. It was a cool little fucking little like 60
Did you send me that? Because I saw that like,
you might have sent
you
might have sent it to me. I don't know. I was on that Periscope Films thing. That's what I sent you. The Indy 500. The
lady smoking crack outside of stadium.
Yeah, that was what it was. No, it was Periscope Films is just they restore and stabilize old film, and that's what they was like the 1959 Indianapolis 500 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Man. I love that.
They're riding like wonky looking cars.
Yeah, right. Like they look pretty fucking weird, but like I like it.
Look like Pine Car Derby cars.
I was born in the wrong generation, because if that was what the IndyCar, I would want to be the IndyCar commentator. I would want to be Joe Indy Straka.
Indy cars are still sick.
I got no context. It looked cooler back then because it was just like it's grittier. It's like I don't know. It's like these are people.
That's how stock car racing was too. Yeah. They had instead of the truck series, they had the convertible series. Where
that's fucking wild.
They just ran cars with no fucking.
Did you see the minivan series that I sent you the other day where they're jumping the minivan?
I saw some drag race between 2 like Mack trucks, and they were like,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they weren't very fast.
Which one was RuPaul in? RuPaul's Drag Race.
Ron Paul.
Yeah, Ron Paul's Drag Race.
You like her policies too?
I like Ron
That's
Paul.
his
You like
daughter.
I like RuPaul's policies.
I like Jeb Paul and Ron Bush.
Jeb Bush.
What's Ron Paul? Yeah, Rand. I couldn't think of
Paul.
his name.
Jeb Paul.
His name.
You know
Talking
what's
about
funny?
Vietnam, that fucking Joe Buck thing.
If you go to Germany, there's a brand of clothing called Camp David, which is funny because it's like where they send all the flunky brothers and sisters of the presidents. It's someplace in, I think, South Carolina or Georgia or something. But it's called Camp David. And they sent
What was that Christian camp that everyone used to go to in like the Poconos?
Man, I have no idea.
Darn.
Jesus Camp.
It's like
Jesus.
You said Camp David and it reminded me of it. Like it's like
why?
I don't know. Just remember Pete telling stories about getting laid there.
Oh my god, dude! The FCA kids are always fucking talking about how you could like hook up at Christian camp, and I'm like, I don't think I want to hook up.
It was like
Christian camp.
Yeah, it was fucking. Pete was telling us how they were all freaks there, and like Johnny was trying to convince me to go or some shit when we were like early teenagers, and I was like, I'm not going to Camp Creation or whatever the fuck it was called. Like,
there was a girl that was
in the Poconos. Apparently, it was sick, but like
no, it's even I who like the Bible. I would not go to Bible camp.
You like the Bible? Were you gay?
No, I'm
gay,
I'm well
dude.
read. No, you just. I think atheists are childish.
Fuck.
We're not getting into that. I'm just gonna
Do
say.
you?
I like the more I think about it, I think that atheism is one of those things where it's like you just
I'm
don't
agnostic.
It's like you just don't have the capacity to say I hate my parents, I hate myself, and like I just would rather have my Sunday to myself. Like it's just really what it is. There's people that get convoluted.
It's way deeper than that, and you're really simplifying a
I am,
very
because
complex issue.
Because Christianity gets oversimplified too. It's like I'm not your typical Christian. I'm not.
You are Christian.
Yeah,
you're gay.
I'm not gay. I think atheism.
Wrong one. Damn it.
Atheism is a lot more correlated. Like Christian is usually more correlated with heteronormative.
Like
atheism is
Christian
more
God and like heaven and hell.
We've been over this on the podcast before. I think that the Bible is.
You just ordered the proverbial raw clams in my house. I'll be leaving now. I don't associate with your kind.
Well, I mean, Christianity it's a business, man. Like I can't get behind any organized religion, be it atheist, agnostic, or whatever. If I'm paying somebody like whether it be the Pope Francis or whatever the guy's name was, the fucking Anton LaVey, the Church of Satan guy. Yeah, like no matter who.
They're both grifters.
Yeah, it's all. It's just it's business. It's all business. But like as a person, an individual, I can read the Bible and appreciate it for being cool stories. That's all. That's all I have to say.
They're not cool though. The Old Testament.
We were talking about this already on here.
They
It's
hate
like,
gay people, dude. It's Pride Month. You're homophobic?
Yes. Staunchly.
They're pretty scary.
I don't know why they feel so compelled to like talk to children. That's the only thing. Just wait till they're 18. Come on. You're being a little bit predatory with that. Like that's where I'm like they lose me with the like you gotta this month specifically.
Okay, so like I don't think children should like not know that like gay people exist, and I don't think children should be like outwardly hateful towards them. But I also don't think
I think
they should be doing like drag queen story time in schools. Like it's just like I don't think gay curriculum needs to be taught, but it's like it's a thing that's in the world. Like kids shouldn't do drugs, but they should know that like. It's a thing that exists.
They should have a basis to formulate an opinion on, which is exactly what we were left to.
Who hasn't thought they were gay once or twice when they were a kid? Well, I like dudes?
Yes. No, but
just me? Oh, never mind.
No, but I was just
kidding.
I just mean like we were kids. It wasn't like there was no Pride Month when we were kids in school. We knew what gay meant. Because like you'd be like that's gay, and then someone would eventually be like, yeah, you can't like say that because if somebody does actually like someone of the same gender, that could be offensive to them. Okay, now I have a basis. I'm not going to go out and start.
Say it more.
It's like like it's even better of a bird now because I know what it means. Yeah. It's like you faggot. Like, but like still, at the end of the day, they're like. Just wait, like you don't have to teach anybody anything. Like it shouldn't be required for people to fucking like you don't need that.
Just like kids along the lines of like sex ed though. Where
I don't think kids need to be. I don't think you need to learn sex. It's pretty straightforward.
Very fucking uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable. It's very.
Just watch Mr. Harley have a boner.
It's a very straightforward thing. I do. What the fuck was it? I think it was a war mode. It might not have been a war mode, but they were apparently using sex ed in like the 60s and 70s to like groom kids. Like I was like a thing in California, one of those like McMartin school style things where they were doing some kind of
Mr.
experiment.
Angelo lifting fucking Kaylee Gallagher up our butt cheeks in gym class.
Whoa, what?
On the chin up bar. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get up under
Dude,
there.
that's
Everyone there
fucking-
was like,
That's uncomfortable.
he was a fucking creep.
I had like
Did you ever have him?
no, I had Implazio, Dagenhart. I had Implazio for 2 years.
Blasio was a fucking douche.
And then Mac for 1 year.
I had Blasio in 5th or 4th grade football, and it made me not want to play football anymore.
He's a very
He screamed at us like we were in military boot camp, or like we were his high school players. I never was one that screaming at me didn't motivate me to like want to play harder or like
No.
do better. Like it just made me like shut down.
This makes me want to smoke weed and not do this
my
activity.
childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Dude, remind me of my grandma. You're scary. Why are you yelling?
And Mr. Implazio yelled at the band one time, which it was very funny.
He's such
'cause
a
it was
douche,
one of the. It was one of those situations where I was, for one of the rare times, it wasn't where I was at fault. We did not play horns in the drum section, so we were not the ones that got killed. There's a. The band, I've gone over this
Just
too.
playing the Red Raiders 0-8 fight song wrong. Like what the fuck?
When we would lose, because we would lose a lot and we were at home, we would play Pocketbill's Cannon, which is
Somber.
It's a very somber song, and it would be
pretty
like
douchey.
we would have like an 0-6 record, and it's like you just got your shit pushed in by like Lower Cape May Regional, who sucked. It was a tight game, and then in the fourth quarter, our quarterback got injured, and I remember it being like literally us going to 0-7.
Just someone going wah, wah, wah,
So
wah,
they start- they
just
would-
getting like carted off.
They would start playing Pocketball's Cannon as like the clock like wound down, and they would do the announcements, and then like we would start playing Pocketball's Cannon, and everybody was like leaving the field, and it was a home game, so like they're just walking right over to the fucking showers right there, and like literally two of the fucking football players were like, "Will you guys stop fucking playing that song?" And we just played it louder. So like then Mr. Implazio came into the band room, and we're all breaking down and flipped out, and we just all laughed because it was like usually the drummers are the ones that get yelled at. We had nothing to do with this, so fuck you, fuck this. This was great. Like we really appreciate it.
We did our jobs.
Yeah,
Why are you yelling at me?
Yeah, we did nothing.
Were you just standing there? Were you playing drums during it? Or?
No, I was like we were breaking down, but like the sections was like so Tom's section was like the brass section, and then like the woodwinds and everything. So it was literally every other instrument in the marching band played this song except us. So they all got yelled
weren't they instructed to do so?
No, it was like you would have little things that you were supposed to like. We would, I don't know, band was gay like that. You got improv points or whatever sometimes. So like for the drummers, the thing was like we would all take a turn doing the solo for the Rocky song. It's called Gonna Fly Now. There's a drum solo in it. If you take the solo that week, you get an extra credit point. So if you're in one of the other sections and you want to play a song, you request something, you do a little zazz on it or whatever, you get your extra credit point. Stupid shit like that. Not really like as like one for one like that, but it would get your attention if you stood out or whatever. So
they
yeah,
chose to do
So
this
they
song?
chose to do that. They would just be like, yeah, everybody learn this song, and we're gonna play it when the team loses because it's funny. And they did it so many times. It's savage, man. But it's like we were trying to motivate them at first, and they just kept losing. It was like Jerome McKee were freaking out, like, stop fucking playing.
I don't know why they weren't good, because like we were always
Lack of black people. That's honestly.
but we were a mostly white team in upper football, and but I guess that's just Cape May teams.
And also hit a growth spurt when you get to high school and you're playing against like people that are 2 years out from going to jail for meth dealing. Like that's like Atlantic City High School.
When we played for the Indians, it was the Cape. It wasn't the Cape Atlantic League like high school is. It was just Cape May County. So we were just playing like middle, lower, Dennis, like Wildwood. There was some darks on Wildwood, but they were good.
Yes, but I'm saying that's high
Quill
school.
Gibbs.
This is like middle school versus high school. Like you
Yeah.
hit a major growth spurt.
I was just saying like upper was like dominant in the lower ranks. So I just was always wondering why. It was one of the reasons that I switched to ice hockey in high school from football. I was thinking about this last week. Yes, not enough black cock. I was searching for more of it in hockey. It turns out I was mistaken.
A lot of frozen
until one hit me in the
shrinkage.
back of the head when I was 27 at the Mandus Field rink. I was thinking about this past week, like why I made the switch or whatever, because I was like thinking about I was at Caldwell and it was the football field. I was with the kid and I was just like having fond memories of playing Indians football as a kid. And I'm like, why did I like not play high school ball? And it was just like being an offensive lineman's kind of fucking boring and repetitive. Like there's not like you could just have a good block, and like that's about the end of it. That's your whole game is just running into another fat kid. Where it's like hockey, there was a little more
personality to the
I
position.
could pass the puck, I could hit somebody, I could fucking
Be a
score
goal
a goal.
scorer, yeah.
Maybe it didn't pan out. I had 3 goals in 4 years, but it's more touchdowns than I would have had if I played football. I always used to dream of, as an offensive lineman, just scooping up that fumble and running it to the fucking house. It never happened.
Yeah.
I never picked up a fumble. I think I just fell on them as instructed. But I was just thinking about like part of the reason why I didn't stick with football is because like Ocean City fucking blew. It's like I didn't know what hockey team I was going to land on, but it's like I think we're going to do better than Ocean City varsity football. And then as I was like my years, the teams would go like 500. Like when I was a senior, they weren't terrible, but they weren't like a playoff contender. And then in recent history, they've actually gotten really good. I think they won like their division or the states or something. In the last few years, they've actually been like complete opposite. When we were there, they stunk bad. Like,
there's a kid.
And Blasio got booted from the coaching job and came down to coach Indians.
Yeah, my
and, like,
freshman
he coached
year.
one fucking year, and like everyone hated him.
Yeah,
like,
that was my freshman year. He
made his son the quarterback, and he just
Mark. He was
So
apparently
they're both named Mark.
Yeah, Mark is Mark, and then Ryan is Ryan, or Mark Ryan.
Isn't that fucking weird?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try and overanalyze that guy. He is nuts, and I'm like, he's one of those people where him being around me, like if I see him in public, he makes me uncomfortable. Like he's a very not the
dad.
the dad.
Yeah, the kids are cool.
Yeah,
I didn't have any. Like I thought Mark was cool, but
Mark and Ryan were both cool to me. It's just I would tell them, I was like, dude, your dad scares me, and they're like, yeah, we know, he's like the coach.
Imagine living with him.
Yeah, I was like, probably like,
yeah.
But yeah, he no, like
I was on second team and he would like scream at us, and it's like, dude, we suck. Like most of the second team was like first year kids and stuff. I'm just like, I'm 9, dude. Like,
he was our gym teacher, and he tried to tell us this like horrible story, like while we were in driver's ed the one year. He's like, yeah, this is the guy that died or whatever. Oh yeah, by the way, I crashed my car in Tuckahoe one time. I was driving 95 miles per hour down Old Tuckahoe Road, and I wrapped my car around a tree. It's like,
are you bragging right now?
Yeah, he was kind of with that. Like, yeah, I think he might have been fucking like trying to pat himself on the back a little bit.
I had him as a gym teacher freshman year, and he was just a real hard ass. I didn't have any, like, he was always kind of douchey, but like he remembered me from football or something. So like he wasn't like terrible to me, but there was one incident where he made the entire class like run laps because we were playing shuffleboard, and apparently I was shuffling too hard. Like the pucks were clanging together, but I wasn't trying to be an ass. Like I was trying to knock their pucks. Like it was a strategic move. Like, and he was like, oh, you think because you play hockey you're gonna do a slap shot over here? He's like trying to be like funny and like call me out in front of people, and it's like I was just trying to win the game. Like I didn't hate shuffleboard. It was stupid, but
fun.
yeah, like I was legit just trying to win.
Chill.
And like I knocked the puck off, and he's like, "Oh, I told you not to do that. Like we're all running laps now." And then like Andrew Petrella, R.I.P. He was like, "I have asthma. I'm not doing that." He's like, "You can't fucking make us do that." And like he smokes cigarettes. I'm like, "Dude, shut the fuck up." But and this other girl, Heather, in my class that like had asthma, and like, "You can't make us run because you were fucking around." I was like, "I wasn't fucking around. I was trying to win." Like what the? He like
it was the opposite of fucking around.
Yeah, like I was legit being the gym class hero, and he's like, "Oh, you're mocking me now," and he made our whole class run. And then like the whole rest of the year, I was like, "Fuck this guy! Like he's such a fucking." And like it was like the beginning of freshman year where you're just like meshing with the Ocean City kids, and then everyone was like, "Dude, fuck this guy! He made us fucking run." And I'm like, I was like the real ass of the day. Like I was. What are you gonna do?
I got a detention one time in gym class, not from Implazio, from Dagenhart though, because I'm a big dude. When I fall down, or I sit down rather, I make a
and
big
you were
noise.
bigger then.
Yeah, I was pushing two fucking.
Joey was chunky in high school.
And I like
big sexy.
No, I was not big sexy. I had a double chin, couldn't fucking see my cock. I don't know. That was the thing I was gonna end on today too. Is like
not being able to see. Your cock.
No, just being fucking annoyed at fat people in Avalon.
I'm fat.
No, you're.
I'm working on it. I'm down 6 pounds.
See, you're
back
working
on the horse.
You're working on it. That's the difference. We literally had anyway. Remind me to come back to the bucket of fried shrimp because that was a legitimate request.
4 ounces of shrimp.
So, no, just. I was a big kid. I sat down and I made a big noise, and Mr. Dagenhart was like, if you do that again, like I was like, do what? He's like, sit down and fall down and make that much noise.
Like
You're
into
gonna
your chair?
No, like onto the ground in the gym club. Like they used to make you like sit. So like I'm a big dude. I sit down.
Did you like flop? Did you
Didn't
LeBron
flop.
flop?
I sit down Indian style, and it was loud because I'm a big person.
Just echoing, and all you hear is the lights.
And he got mad at me for doing that. He was like, "You fell down." And I'm like, "I did not fall down." He's like, "That's an insurance problem. We're not gonna have. If you do that again, I'm giving you a detention." So then like he makes us stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, and then I sit down the exact same way.
Sit down on your dot.
And he fucking gives me a detention. And my mom was like livid. She was like, "What did you do?" And I was like, "He keeps accusing me of falling down, and I just am sitting down the way he's requesting." And she's like, "This is retarded. Just serve the fucking time. Like, just literally just do your time. I'm not even gonna bother with this." But yeah, it was like one of those like points of like,
and you weren't trying to be a shit.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah,
I was. There was times where I was trying to be a shit. I kicked the
and
fucking.
This wasn't one of them for me either. Where it's like I was just,
I'm just doing my
hard
thing.
in the paint. Like
I'm just doing my thing, man. This one time though, I did was dead to rights wrong. I kicked a basketball because I like Bend It Like Beckham. That movie was out.
Curve the fucking
So I was showing this kid that you could do it easier with a basketball than you could with a soccer ball because it's like got like like you could get more topspin on a basketball.
It's got way more grip.
Yeah, so I was like, we were in the gym and like there's just this like basketball and then like a bunch of like dodgeballs and like a soccer ball and everything.
Open gym period.
Just fucking wailed this fucking basketball and it did.
Who'd you drill in the head?
It curved so much back that it went to, you know, in the auxiliary gym, how there was the short little fold out. They're all the chicks that didn't, the Cookie Monster pants
Sit
chicks
on the fucking bottom step of the bleachers.
We're sitting on the bleachers.
The Cookie Monster chicks.
Yeah, Cookie Monster pants chicks, like, you know, the Cookie Monster pajama pants.
Yep.
Like they're all like, you know, fucking Chelsea Sneathen and shit like that. Like those people, those folks. I hit Jen Noble square in the face because it curved so far back she couldn't see it from around the curtain, and I like didn't even know I hit someone, so I just kept going about my shit. I just like thought the ball bounced. And like her nose was like bleeding everywhere, and I got a detention, rightfully so, for that. And I'm like, yeah, no, I earned that one. My mom was not happy about it, but like they were trying to bring me up on assault. They were threatening me with assault charges. I'm like,
I was just kicking a ball in gym class. Like, I wasn't trying to hit anyone.
I mean, like she should have been exercising. If she was doing gym class, she wouldn't have been in that position now, would she?
Yeah.
But they don't like when you turn that around because they're gym teachers. And also, who was the short one, Galaney?
Galaney.
So I told him one time, like, I'm pretty fucking short myself, but
he was
like
a douche too.
But yeah, he was getting in my face, probably about that exact thing too. Like not that instance, but like later or whatever. And he said something like, "Yeah, you better hope you get accepted to college because I don't see you having much else to do."
He
like
was just big time.
Yeah,
all the time.
He did. He said something like that. I was like, "Oh, you know, I always remembered my mom saying those you can teach, or those who can do, those who can't teach, and those who can't teach gym." And he like turned fucking red and was like, "What did you say?" And I was like, "You heard me, short stack," and then just left, and nothing became of it. It was
How
like
hard was your fucking heart pounding walking away from
no,
that?
it was
dude?
like
my heart is beating right now.
Last week of senior year, I was like, "What is he gonna?"
I was like, my hands would have been trembling. I would have been ready to fight. He would have ripped your ear off.
I was gonna say the only thing that I thought about later was that he could follow me to my car later
Snap your leg off.
Because I'm 18 and he could fucking legally take me like off the fucking premises or whatever. But yeah, like or not legally, but
he
like,
wouldn't.
Yeah, he wouldn't. But it was funny. Like I just remember him like because he pulled me into that office that was like the glass window office that was like the one that watched
he just had like that drill sergeant air about him. Like he tried to be fun and goofy, but I could see him just like
you would openly hit on the chicks.
See
and
you
then
like
just,
him looking at you with like three heads when you said like,
yeah.
"What did you say to me?" Like just face turning red, dude.
Yeah, like I think it was like something too along the lines of like I had to go do something because I got accepted to college and I was like getting a note so that I didn't have to go to the rest of gym class. So I changed and I got my notes. I might have been lacrosse or something. I don't even fucking remember what it was. But he was like, "You gonna play college lacrosse? Oh, you know, you better hope because you not got much going on here." It was like, "Oh, you know what? My mom always told me, you know."
Like, why would he say it to you? Was he just ribbing you?
He wasn't like, he was always a little bit cunty to me, but like he never was like outright mean. But this was like him trying to pick on a child. It was him trying to pick on a child, and I'm like, yeah, no, you're not flying here, buddy. Yeah.
I used to always pick on Chaz Mangine. He wouldn't. We would all say Mangina because his last name was Mangine, but like he would always say something. He'd call him like some fruity name like Buttercup or Pretty Boy or something like that. They would always just like for like 4 years would just fucking harass my buddy Chaz in high school. It's weird. And Chaz was like the good looking like popular dude, and it was just like maybe that's why he was picking on him. Like
he has everything he doesn't have. Fucking girlfriend.
Yeah,
you could see her over the counter.
Hey.
Galaney's like, I don't know. outside of high school, I always thought he was like, he's all right.
Yeah,
like, because he owns that parking lot in Ocean City, and like I'd be a trash man, and we would service the cans there, and he'd come out and be like, "What's up, dude, sir?" Like he was just like a bro, but like he had that weird like
dickhead mentality in high school. Yeah, I don't know.
He never really did. I don't know. I guess because I was bigger, and I never really gave him any guff. I never had him as a teacher, so like he never really worked with me directly, but he never. I don't know. He never really picked on me specifically. And like there was one time where I almost got in like a fight in gym class where like I was wronged. I was already out, and then I don't know if he wanted to fight, but I wanted to fight. And we talked about him last episode. It was Travis Tomlin. Fucking, I was
local
already
representative,
out, and I was fucking.
Seems
like
a
senior year.
Seems like a real good person.
Senior
to
year. I remember
about.
this. He probably doesn't. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm not like holding a grudge about it. Like we've hung out.
We're not voting. We're not voting for you.
No,
you fucking
it
cunt.
was yesterday. We missed it.
Yeah, suck it. Hope you didn't get elected, faggot.
No, it was senior year, and I was already out, and it was like I was one of the last ones, and like when I got knocked out, I like tripped over my own 2 feet and fell. So I was like already mortified because everyone would like did like the ooh, and he's the one who like got me out, and I'm like sitting on my butt and like getting to like stand up, and he like pegs me in the face in front of everyone hard, and like it kind of hurt. And like I got up ready to fight. Like I was a psycho when I was 18. Like I was like big hockey fucking tough guy. Like I was like the quote unquote enforcer on my team. Like not that there's fighting like the NHL, but it was just like my fucking wires were crossed more so than they are now when I was 18, and I was full on ready to fight. And like Mr. Galani legit held me back and like probably saved me from
assaulting a local
catching
politician.
a charge or whatever. Nothing. It probably would have been nothing. Like maybe I could have got my fucking butt kicked by Travis. Who the fuck knows? But he. I don't know. He wasn't like I guess technically there I would be in the wrong for like trying to start a fight. But like I don't know. We had like a teacher student moment where like he just pulled me out to the side. He was like, "Look, dude, I get it. Like just relax."
Down.
Like yeah, and I guess. I don't know. He saw like the inner rage or whatever. Like,
the inner retard coming out.
Yeah, like he was just like, he's like, just take a minute. He's like, that was pretty fucked up. He shouldn't have hit you the second time. Like I get it. He's like, look, there's a week left. Can't be fighting. Let it go.
We gotta end on this.
He's like, get him back the next game. But yeah, he was kind of a douche.
Okay, there was this one time.
All the wrestling guys. Sorry, who was the other one? The history guy. He was short too. Wrestling. Debo. He was a fucking douche too. Bartola.
Never had him.
Galani was a wrestling coach. Debo was a wrestling coach. They're all fucking douchebags.
Well, yeah, they're wrestling coaches. They hate their dads. Like they all have the Joe Rogan thing going on, where it's like I'm gonna wrestle my problems away. It's not like all
wrestling.
Of them, but like, yeah,
pretty gay.
They're tough guys.
I know they could beat me up for saying this, but you're a little gay.
Yeah. Well,
the singlet.
Murrin,
it's gay.
Murrin's my favorite one because he was the bartender you met in Raleigh. Because like I told him, I was like, I never wrestled because my mom just wouldn't let. She thought I was gonna get cauliflower ear and like get like ringworm and shit, so she never would let me do it. It was like also way too violent. But
that's why Johnny quit.
Ringworm. Yeah, it's a very dirty sport.
Didn't.
Yeah,
he was like a vet.
Okay, I gotta go, but we got all right. Last thing.
What did Mern say?
Mern just told me, he was like, yeah, you get like, it's probably the gayest but toughest activity simultaneously, where it's like you're doing something that comes off as extremely gay, but then like also something that's like extremely like it takes mental fortitude, it takes physical fortitude.
Hardest, it's really hard. The practices are insane.
Your cutting weight is fucking impossible. Like it's extremely strenuous. Yeah,
but it's gay.
But it's got a little bit of gay.
The uniform specifically.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, there's like a lot of gay stuff going on with this like it's like masculine, but also like a little too masculine in some departments.
Yeah. But Johnny didn't wrestle a senior year. He was like going to be like a captain, like was like an all-star fucking dude, was like a good wrestler, and chose to not wrestle senior year because he kept getting ringworm because the Ocean City gym was like fucking gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And he would like shower right after and like do everything to the T, and he got like gnarly ringworm like 3 times. And he was just like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like,
don't blame him.
Yeah, like it was legit the sole reason he stopped wrestling.
Yeah, I gotta go. I gotta take a shower and fucking shave and do a whole bunch of shit.
Joe's got a hot date.
No, I don't actually.
You gonna plug her?
No,
we're doing the plugs right now.
I'm not plugging her. Fuck that. No.
Now you gonna plug her later? Fucking
probably not.
Double innuendos.
All right. K-Man 609-45-3143. I'll tell L I'll be by soon with the power washer. I'll go do the cans. If not, I'll bring them to here and then do them and bring them back. Either way, I'll do that.
Cool. Thank you.
Tracks and Motorsports, Tommy 11R, HRS Design and Promotion, Autumn will make your shit look good. Stewart's Handyman Service. I can't remember his phone number.
609-338-9427.
Say it once.
Thanks. Shout out to my autism for remembering phone numbers. What's yours? 425-3577 or something like that?
Yeah. Close enough. 425-3577. Call. Give me a call. Anytime of day, night, Mondays, Sundays.
If you're still
church.
here, thanks for listening, because this was
yes,
all over the place.
Go fuck yourselves.
I every time I'm like, I'm gonna roll a big giant blunt and fuck this podcast up, and it does.
Yeah, you got almost 3.5 hours of it. All right, that's
good
enough.
luck listening to this when you have to edit it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna cut you out entirely.
You should.
I'm going to. You having fun?
Standing O from the fans.
Shut the fuck up.